And it looked like Stony Brook had won the toss. They deferred. So Rhode Island and the Seawolves will alternate locations. But again, Stone Freeman and Miles Ross bringing you the coverage of ball. And Stony Brook looking for conference win number 1 in their first conference game of the season. But Miles, we talked about it a little bit in the open, but a win tonight for Rhode Island gets them some momentum again, really into a tough part of the schedule. They're on the road for the next 3 straight games.
Yep, Rhode Island is 0-2 in the conference right now, and you know that means everything. That means everything because conference wins at the end of the day puts you either at the top or at the bottom. And Rhode Island's goal is to win the CAA championship. Last year, they were on their way, and they felt like they're close enough to grab that title. And tonight, they could start with a win against Stony Brook.
Well, this is game number 4. We're going to play 12 this season for URI, so just 25% of the way through. Stony Brook is riding hot. They've won their last 2 games. Their only loss comes to an FBS opponent in Utah State. Rhode Island, again, their 3 losses, 2 come in conference play, as Miles alluded to, and also on the road, the first game of the season versus Ohio. So we're going to take a look at Vito Priori and Aaron Parker right off the bat, as well as Isaiah Coulter, Zoe Bryant, and the rest of the Rhode Island offense. This defense for Stony Brook, though, one of the, if not the best defense in the CAA right now, just 338.5 total yards of defense allowed. That's second best, just behind James Madison. So one of the top defenses going up against the top offense right here in Kingston. 2 of the better special teams units as well. We're going to see the kicker today, and Nick Courtney, redshirt senior for Stony Brook. He will kick it away. Rhode Island's got 2 men back, and Amir Dorsey and Matt Pyers. Dorsey there on the far side of your screen, and Pyers up close, number 19. But the Rams and the Seawolves going at it in a CAA clash right here under the lights in Kingston, Rhode Island. The second and last night game that the Rams will play on their inaugural season on turf and under permanent lighting. Courtney ready to kick this one away, and 15 on the clock now begins to roll down as Dorsey's going to receive this one, and he'll bring it out. The Rams, again, Jim Fleming knows special teams is part of their identity, and Dorsey cuts up at the 30, and he'll fall forward to the 35, but a good starting point for the Rhode Island offense.
Amir Dorsey has made his presence felt in each and every one of these games for the Rhode Island Rams, and he will continue to make his presence felt today against the Seawolves.
And you see Dorsey stays out there, so it'll be a great receiving trio for Vito Priori. And Isaiah Coulter, number 8, his cousin Aaron Parker, number 6, who we'll talk a ton about. 11 is Dorsey, Joey Kenny, the tight end. Front 5, Kyle Murphy, Evan Lavelle, Raice Johnson, Nick Correa, and Kevin Lawrence from left tackle all the way across to the right tackle. Zoe Bryant in the backfield with Vito. First play of the game, he's going to throw it out to Amir Dorsey. And Dorsey getting upfield to the 40, and a first down on the first play of the game from scrimmage for URI. Vito Priori completes the pass to Amir Dorsey, and we're underway offensively for URI.
I think one person who we'll be looking at again to make humongous plays, like you said, is Isaiah Coulter. Not only is Aaron Parker a huge playmaker for the Rams, but Isaiah, as he showed last week, could come up huge and make huge plays to put the Rams in position to score.
A 100-yard game and a TD in the loss to UNH as that one goes through the hands of Aaron Parker. Defensive back is Gavin Heslop. We'll hear a lot about him too. Yonkers, New York native for Stony Brook. Team high 4 pass breakups. He's forced a fumble. 18 total tackles on the season, and he started all 4 games for Chuck Priori and his Seawolf team. And they've made it to the FCS playoffs each of the last 2 years. They're a perfect 3-0 here at Meade Stadium against the Rams, and a perfect 6-0 all-time against Rhode Island as Bryant gets a couple yards on a second down play. It'll bring up third down, and the first third down for URI.
It's important for Rhode Island to get this first down here. Third down is one down that the Rhode Island Rams have continued to emphasize all week, as it was a point of emphasis for the simple fact that you miss a lot of those opportunities, you're giving the ball to the other team and miss out on opportunities to score. So I think here they'll be looking to get this first.
So 4 wide receivers branched out. Priori sure looks like he'll throw it on 3rd and 9. Stony Brook looking to bring some pressure, though. They got 6 men in the box. Priori flushed out, and he's going to be taken down way at the 30-yard line. In on the sack is number 5, Sam Camara. He records his first sack of the season, and he comes up big. Rhode Island will now be forced to punt on their opening drive.
You could tell throughout that whole drive how aggressive Stony Brook's coaching staff is on defense. And on that last play, bringing the pressure like that, Vito has the ability to roll out and make plays that way. I think Stony Brook knows that, which is why they brought as many people as they did. And we'll see what Rhode Island's defense is all about on this next drive.
So the kicker for URI is Davey Schoenbar-Tucci. He comes out. He's got 10 punts on the season, averages 38.1 yards per punt. This one end over end falling quickly. It'll take a Rhode Island bounce and a good one that's going to roll all the way to just about the 29-yard line. And it was 4th and 21. They give it over to Stony Brook. And that was Brendan Javier Castillo, who's on special teams and will stay out there on the defensive side as well. So Schoenbar-Tucci punts it away. And it'll be Stony Brook football. They run the ball a lot. They got a two-headed monster in the backfield in Isaiah White and Sabah Naket. The two of them going to get a hefty amount. They ran the ball a lot last year in a Stony Brook win over URI. They had 354 yards, 5 TDs total on the ground in last year's meeting between these two teams. The handoff goes to the running back, White. He's met by the Rams at the line of scrimmage, and a good start for the Rhode Island defense bottling up the run.
Not only does Stony Brook have two great running backs, but they have a very athletic quarterback. Coming from the perspective of somebody who was recruited in the same class as Tykel Fields, he was actually somebody who I tried to help get here at Rhode Island. But as you can see, he's very athletic in the offense that they run, and I think that Rhode Island will try to take the same approach as they did against Ohio, who had another athletic quarterback that could run the ball.
Yeah, running is really part of his repertoire. He can throw it too as he throws on second down. He picks up a big gainer up diving forward, number 86, Andrew Trent. And it's a first down and a little bit more. Stony Brook's going to get to the line right away. They're, again, trying to catch Rhode Island's defense on their toes. Rashad Dickerson's lined up one-on-one with Trent, but they run the ball here on first down. James Maxson in on the hit from behind, but a big gainer on first down for the Seawolves.
And again, I think the fact that Stony Brook has two running backs that they can use at any point in time allows them to run that fast offense and get lined up as quick as they can, because they'll always have fresh legs.
Defensively for URI, their stronger part of the defense is the secondary, led by Mamadou Mbaye. Fields is getting upfield past the 50, and he gets a first down a little bit more, and there's his athleticism on full display for the Seawolves. Comes up with a first down run. Tej Wilson chased him down from behind. Defense for URI, they give up 37.3 points per game. That's the most in the CAA on the defensive side of the ball, as second down is another running play for the Seawolves, and it's Isaiah White who will see the first 3 carries for the Seawolves, and he has certainly impressed. His first run only went for 1 yard, but since then rattles off 2 very impressive runs. That one will pick up, will be a second down now for Stony Brook, 2nd and 5.
Talk about Rhode Island and the amount of points they give up. We talk about how explosive Rhode Island's offense is. You just have to match what the offense is doing on defense, and that's what's going to really win you games.
Fields takes the handoff. He's going to run play action. He's got a man wide open at the 30, spinning and getting forward to the 25. And that's the transfer from Bryant University, Gene Constant. So no stranger to the Ocean State. Spent 4 years at Bryant University in Smithfield, the team that Rhode Island will play on next year's schedule at the NEC. He's an All-American kick returner. Preseason All-American by FCS Stats. And he gets his first reception and a first down for the Seawolves, who are rolling on this drive. 7 plays now for the visiting team. Handoff goes to the second running back, who gets a big burst. That's Tyson Lutton. Haven't seen too much of him this season, just 2 games played. 13 attempts for 61 yards. But he stays right back in there. Fields takes the snap. It goes back to Lawton. Lawton looking for the edge. He's got the 10. And way inside of Rhode Island territory go the Seawolves. And looking to strike first.
One thing you can tell about these running backs just watching them is how they run behind their pads. And I think that's what's given them the ability to be so successful in the run game.
Fields takes the handoff again. This time he's going to keep it, and Rhode Island will register a sack. And a big one for the linebacking core. That's Andre Blackett Jr. from Easton, Pennsylvania. Comes up with his first tackle of loss and sack of the season. That brings up 2nd and long. Blackett and Chris Arrington couple linebackers that the Rams really need to get going here to start some momentum on the defensive side of the ball. Brendan Javier Castillo is one of the, if not the best tackler in the lead, but he needs some help. As this one goes to Lawton again, he picks up the yards lost, but it brings up 3rd down. And Miles, a good opportunity now for the Rams to at least try to force a field goal, which obviously beats the alternate of giving up a touchdown.
They've, at the latter end of this drive, they've slowed their offense down. Early on, Stony Brook seemed to move at will, and here in the red zone, they seem to have got things under wraps a little bit, and I think if they hold them to a field goal here, then they might be in better position.
Fields is going to throw it towards the end zone, and that ball is reeled in, but it's going to say they bobbled it out of bounds. And that was Constant that thought he had it caught, tried to sell it to the official, but the official right on it saying he bobbled it, and that brings up 4th down, so the Rhode Island defense bends but doesn't break. Great defensive effort by URI. And looks like they might review this one as they've stopped it. The kicker was out there, and Nick Courtney. So they are going to review it. So Courtney will wait momentarily. And they want to take another look at it. But a good ball from Fields nevertheless, trying to get him in the near side corner of the end zone. Constant was fading away. And we'll take a look at it here.
As you can see, Tykel Fields stepping up in the pocket and delivering a great ball to his receiver. And he comes down with it, and from what we can see, he's bobbling it. It's kind of hard to tell from our angle because the ball's away from us.
Yeah, so they're reviewing, but I think that's the, judging by what the officials had motioned, the bobble is that he did catch it, but he didn't have possession of it when his feet were in bounds. College a little different than the pros. You only need 1 foot in. So the official's going to take a look at this one. But the field goal unit did come right out, so this is not a challenge from Stony Brook. This is the officials wanted to take another look at it. But Stony Brook really goes on the ground. We talked about that in the open, but 246.8 rush yards per game, 2nd best in the conference. They go to the air in an attempt to pick up their first touchdown of the early evening. For the time being, clock stopped at 8:24 and 4th and 11.
As we wait for him to get back out here, I think it's important.
It is determined that the receiver maintained possession while staying in bounds.
Wow.
This is a touchdown.
So they reverse it. It is a touchdown. Gene Constant held on to it. And after the official review, it is a touchdown for the Stony Brook Seawolves. And now Nick Courtney's job gets a little bit easier, just has to worry about an extra point.
We weren't quite sure what we could see from our angle. It looked like he bobbled it a little bit and didn't have full control before it came down, but as you can see, the refs confirmed the touchdown.
And that is a good extra point. Nick Courtney's great in that category now, 15 of 16 on the season. And a touchdown for Gene Constant gives the Seawolves the lead, up by a score. An 11-play, 76-yard drive in 4 minutes and 27 seconds is capped off by an 11-yard touchdown grab for Gene Constant. And again, the transfer from Bryant University puts the Seawolves up 7-0. Welcome back inside Meade Stadium. Stone Freeman and Miles Ross on the call of tonight's game. But the Rams now have to get moving offensively. Already in the hole by 7 points after just one drive apiece, but it's Tykel Fields who found his wide receiver. That's passing touchdown number 6 of the season. Gene Constant with receiving touchdown number 3. So half of the touchdowns through the air come from Gene Constant as Courtney's kick is up, and it's going to be corralled by Amir Dorsey. Dorsey brings out his last return, went for 35 yards, and this time he's going to get 20 yards shy of that, just out to the 15. And again, the Rhode Island offense goes back to work with Vito Priori under center.
On this drive, the offensive line has to anchor down. That's what's most important for the Rhode Island Rams, to move the ball down the field. As you saw, Stony Brook was able to just easily move down, almost like a hot knife through butter. And it's very important that the Rams at least get in position to score some points. They can't get behind early.
The Seawolves number 27 in the Stats FCS poll this week, number 28 in the coaches poll, so one of the better teams in the country as this one swung out to Pyers. Pyers looking for a couple yards after the line of scrimmage, and he gets just that. Good tackle, though, and a hyped up Stony Brook, number 19, Gregory Young II. And Pyers comes out of the game. But Rhode Island now will face a 2nd and 7. They did pick up one first down on their first drive. It was the first play. But on 3rd down, a sack from Sam Kamara took Vito way down. As Vito will take the snap on 2nd and 7, throws it out to his tight end, Joey Kenny. Kenny getting fancy with the footwork, and he might have just got the first down just at the end of the chain, but I think it's going to be 3rd down. 3rd and 3. Oh, a couple yards short.
He's pushed out of bounds by number 1.
So Kenny comes up with the reception, just his 5th reception of the season. He's a game captain today, along with Aaron Parker and Kyle Murphy, Mamadou Mbai, the 4 captains today for URI. Priori, though, will face a 3rd and 3. His offense again out there, 3 wide receivers, a man in the backfield. Kenny flanks the far side line of the scrimmage. 3rd and 3, and the snap for Vito. Throws it out. He's got a man wide open, and that's Parker. Parker gets out of bounds. Aaron's first reception of the day. The best receiver right now by yards per game measured in FCS football. 171.7 yards per game.
Vito here taking the snap, dropping back and finding his favorite target. And like you said, the best receiver in this conference, Aaron Parker, coming up big to get his team the first down.
Parker needs to get active early for URI to get their offense moving, give their defense a breather. They were on the field for just under 5 minutes as Vito's flushed out. He throws it. He's got Joey Kenny again, who is down in some pain. But Joey Kenny picks up a couple yard gain, and Joey Squirm going to get some help from the medical staff here at the University of Rhode Island as couple gentlemen run over, but Joey gets his 2nd reception. He was hit just below the knee. Take another look at it.
Joe Kenny catching the ball, and it doesn't look too good. Those Stony Brook defenders go for the big hits, and unfortunately gets low on Kenny, being a bigger player. And right now he's still down and writhing in pain.
Andy Laguna and Mike Montero, 2 trainers for URI. Andy, an associate athletic director, so he's in good hands. Got a couple men with him to check him out, but Joey is definitely in some pain. They're going to help him up, and it looks like he's obviously favoring his right knee. His left knee took the brunt of it from Stony Brook's number 30, Renegi Diamachi. And Kenny needs help off the field, so you never like to see that, no matter what team you're rooting for. And that's the number 1 tight end for URI right now, and he can't put any pressure on his left knee. So Caleb Warren is the 2nd string tight end. We'll see a lot from him now, looks like, the rest of the night in his sophomore season. 4 receptions on the year, but obviously all the best to Joey, one of the good guys in this sport, really an overall great human being. And tough to see him like that. He's going to get some encouragement from his head coach, Jim Fleming, Mike Flanagan, the tight ends coach, and Stephon Wheeler, the offensive line coach. But Rhode Island has to get back to work offensively without their starting tight end. 2nd and 7 upcoming here for URI. Vito Priori awaits the snap, and it's offsides. Looks like Aaron Parker, or Isaiah Coulter rather, on the near side, moved early.
Offense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
You wonder what impact the injury to Joey has on this offense. Do they go with a smaller package and try to run plays with a lot of the quicker guys on the field? How does it change them up?
So Caleb Warren has a little bit of a bigger frame, 6'3", but he's in for URI right now. The penalty, though, 5 yards, will bring him back to 2nd and 12 at the 35-yard line. Under 6 minutes left to go in the first. Rhode Island just 23 total yards to Stony Brook 76. Vito waits. Pocket begins to collapse, but he gets it out in time, and Zoe Bryant comes out of the backfield. He gets the 40. He was looking for a late hit, and no flag comes in. So that'll pick up the 5 yards Rhode Island lost. And it'll bring up 3rd and 7 now from the 40.
Here's another opportunity to capitalize on a 3rd down. I think that as this game goes on, the more they convert on 3rd down, the higher their confidence level goes up. And I think for them, they just need to get down in the red zone more than anything.
Vito has completed 6 of his first 7 throws tonight. He's got 39 yards thus far and trips out to the far side to his right side. A high snap. He does corral it, though, but the pocket collapses again. And on 3rd down, the Stony Brook defensive line comes to play again. It's another sack. That's number 8, Augie Contressa. He's the top tackler on the team, and he comes up with his 2nd sack of the season and the 2nd sack of the game for the Stony Brook Seawolves. Both coming on 3rd down will force Rhode Island to punt again deep inside their own zone.
As you saw, the snap was a little high and caused Vito to get flustered a little bit, and Stony Brook's defensive line was able to get in there and make the play.
So Sean Bartocci comes out again to punt it away as he awaits the long snap from Joe DeLeon. 1 man back to receive. That's Constant for Stony Brook. And snap finally comes off. This one spiraling, falling quickly, and Rhode Island's going to have to poison this one. It does take a little bit of a roll for them, and they'll start the drive at the 30. We're going to step aside. Stony Brook, they're up 7 points. Rhode Island goes back to work defensively when we come back. The Stony Brook offense back out there against the Rhode Island defense as we are bladed into the first quarter of play. Tykel Fields back out for the Seawolves. They're up 7-0 over URI. The Rams have punted on both of their first 2 drives as we got some motion for the visiting offense. Again, the handoff goes to White, and White gets past the 35-yard line. More than a 5-yard gain again. They do that so well. Starting off drives with a run, picks up a couple yards, brings up 2nd and short. It seems like it's automatic.
It's almost as if the Rhode Island defense is so locked in on that run. It's that when Stony Brook passes the ball, it catches them off guard.
Rhode Island coming off of a loss at UNH, 27-24. And the Seawolves, they're coming off of, again, back-to-back wins. And they've beaten 3 FCS opponents. Their 1 loss is to an FBS opponent. That one's just off the fingertips of Constant, who's already got a touchdown tonight. And it brings up 3rd down, so a chance for URI, their defense, to get off the field. But Stony Brook in a hurry right back to the line, 3rd and 4. Tykel Field, again, he's known for his athleticism. He's very mobile, but he can air it out. That time just a bit in front of Constant. But he's got plenty of weapons in his arsenal, both on the field and his personal attributes. 3rd and 4, though. They're going to run it, looking for the 1st down, and they'll get it. That one into the breadbasket of number 3, Saban Niket. And he comes up with a 1st down run for Stony Brook. And Rhode Island now has an injury on the defensive side of the ball. Daniel Laguna out there again for URI. And we had seen Joey Kenny already go down, the tight end for URI. And you don't want to assume, but judging by the number, that looks like number 28. And if that's the case, that's Mamadou Mbai, the senior captain. And Mamadou, 7 career interceptions. 21 passes defended in his career. 5 shy of breaking the all-time record in that category. And he's going to get some help off the field. He's walking off on his own power. He does have both Mike Montero and Andy Laguna with him again, but walking off by himself at least. So that's a good sign, but he will come off for this play. Stony Brook picked up the 1st down in the process. It's 1st and 10 now for the Seawolves. Again, they rely so much on that running attack. Last week, Saban Niket had 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah White had 127 yards on the ground. So they run it. That's why they chew the clock up as Tykel Fields runs and takes it himself, looking for the 50, and he's just shy of it at the 49. And he'll get right back up and head to the line of scrimmage or bring up 2nd and very short, just about a yard.
getting Mamadou back out there is important for the defense, as it's such an intricate part to this defense. You know, he's got 3 picks in 3 games.
They run it. They get a first down and some, trying to get to the corner, and tackled just before he could get out of bounds is, again, Tyson Lawton. So we really highlighted 2 backs, Isaiah White and Saban Naquette, but Tyson Lawton getting mixed in as well. We've seen him pick up a couple first downs. That's another one for the Seawolves. And again, their 1 touchdown comes through the air, but they rely heavily on the rush. 56 of their first 95 yards come on the ground. The officials conferencing. And I think there was a flag that had come in. We might have missed it, but that's exactly what it is.
It might have been, as we just keep talking about how fast Stony Brook's offense is, and Rhode Island had a guy running off the field, and Stony Brook might have got the snap off before he was able to step on the sideline.
Offside, defense.
It's offsides.
Decline. Resulting play, first down.
So offsides for URI, 5 yards given to the Seawolves, and they declined it. Picked up the first down, nevertheless. So Fields comes back out there. Fields had to earn this starting job. He was named the starter on August 12th. Their first game was August 31st. So just 11 days, week and a half before the opener, he became the starter as the handoff goes again, but Rhode Island has a beat on it defensively. Brendan Giannetti, the first one off the pile. Played in 14 games as a backup. And now into a starting role. And the first game he played was a win over Bryant University, 35-10. A win in his first career start. That'll create some momentum. Stony Brook then lost at Utah State 1-1, but winners of their last 2 over Wagner and Fordham University. So 2 fellow New York teams. Shotgun snap to Fields. The handoff, fakes it, throws it over the middle, and he's got a man. Receiving at the 25-yard line, and it's number 46.
Field pass complete to number 46, Peter McKenzie.
That's Peter McKenzie.
He's tackled by number 16. That's bringing in Javier Castillo.
Javier Castillo with the tackle. And Stony Brook with another first down. They continue to drive. And Rhode Island had thought they had the incompletion to Gene Constant. Went to review, and he caught it in the end zone. He didn't bobble it, so that was the touchdown. And now they're looking to strike again. This one, though, will bring up second down as White gets the rush again. And it looks like Mamadou Mbaye is back out there. Number 28 has come back onto the field, so a good sign for the Rams defense. Final 65 seconds of the first quarter, 2nd and 7 coming up for Stony Brook. They got 7 first downs already, a perfect 2-2 on 3rd down. So that allows them to open up their playbook a little bit more. And on 2nd down, Fields awaits the shotgun snap, though. 1 man in the backfield, and now in motion goes Andrew Trent. Handoff goes to White, though. White is stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. And depending on if they force the snap, this might bring us to the end of the first quarter. But Stony Brook hustles right back in, and Rhode Island's going to have to switch out on the fly. A lot of Rams hustling off, but Stony Brook still looking towards their sideline. 3rd and 6. Play clock hasn't even started yet. Still at 40. And they're not even going to run it because it's into Stony Brook's hands on 3rd and 6. Rhode Island hasn't been able to stop them on 3rd down. They throw it to the end zone, and a flag on the play. Malik Wilder was draped all over Andrew Trent, and they're going to get him for pass interference.
15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So an automatic first down for the Seawolves. That ball was thrown a little bit in front of Andrew Trent. Milder was raped on his backside, and the 2nd penalty of the day for URI, and that'll cost him a first down.
As you can see, Tykel Fields dropping back here and trying to deliver another strike to the end zone to one of his weapons, and Wilder just gets caught draped over his back, and it was an easy call for the ref.
Official right there on top of it. Clock is stopped at 8 seconds, so Stony Brook can get this play off and potentially take a 2-score advantage going into the 2nd quarter. Shotgun snap, the handoff, and he's going to keep it himself, trying to get to the edge, and he won't get it. beat on it for Brian Campbell, secondary member that comes down to make the tackle, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Stony Brook looking to strike again to take a 2-score lead over Rhode Island, but for the time being, it's Stony Brook 7, Rhode Island 0 after 1 quarter of play. It was a Stony Brook first quarter here at Meade Stadium. The visiting Seawolves up 7-0, first downs in favor of them 8-2. Their rushing attack again, all that as it was advertised. 16 rushes for 77 yards, and the Rhode Island offense has not had much time out there. 8 minutes and 37 seconds of the first 15 belong to the Seawolves offense. They moved the ball so well between Tyson Lawton, Isaiah White, Tykel Fields, and Sabah Naket. Fields has been great through the air too, 4 of his first 5 with 50 yards and a touchdown. And the Seawolves look to score again. They're deep inside Rhode Island territory. 2nd and goal to go from the 5-yard line. Snap goes to the quarterback. Play action. He's going to roll. Trying to get to the angle. Rhode Island bumped on it and hit right at the line of scrimmage. The ball came loose, and Mamadou Mbai jarred it loose. Rhode Island thinks they came up with it, and they did. Rhode Island comes up with the forced fumble and fumble recovery. A hard hit from the Rhode Island secondary, and a big stop. A little bit momentum for the URI defense. Beautiful play. That'll bring some energy to the crowd as well. But Fields had all that green grass in front of him, and he was hit. That is Mbai. See where the ball is. It's underneath Andre Bebalt at that point, and you're just going to wait for somebody to fall on top of it, and the Rams did. A couple different Rhode Islanders falling on top of it. Rashad Dickerson dove in at the last second, but it was underneath Andre Bebalt. So a forced fumble for Mamadou Mbai. He sparks yet another turnover for the URI defense.
Rhode Island's DBs did a great job locking it up in the back end there, which forced Tykel Fields to try to run the ball in the end zone. And the same DBs that were locking it down in the end zone came up and made a great play to give Rhode Island momentum.
Mamadou Mbai proves his worth again. Another forced fumble as Vito's going to air this one out. He's looking for Coulter, and that one just bounced off of his hands. Great defensive effort, too, from Stony Brook, but TJ Morrison was the cornerback on Isaiah Coulter, and Coulter had just missed what looks like could have been a 99-yard touchdown if he broke away from Morrison.
And Vito threw the ball down the field, knowing in full confidence Isaiah could make that play, and unfortunately it went off his hands, and they'll be backed up for a second time.
So the Rhode Island offense, just the second incompletion of the game, as Priori's going to work from his own end zone again, and they're going to run it this time. Zoe Bryant will give the Rams some wiggle room. As he gets out past the 5, will bring up 3rd and short. And the Rams have some space.
That's one thing we haven't seen much today from the Rams is the running game in Zoe Bryant. The first 3 weeks, it was evident that they wanted to get him the ball, and they fed it to him early and often, and it worked out in their favor. I think if they want to get up, then they should go back to that game.
Rhode Island has only converted 1 3rd down tonight, 1 for 3 as Priori drops back. Got it, and he's got a first down, so now rank it 2nd, or rather 2 for 4 in that category, and it's Coulter that comes up with the reception. And the Rams started this drive at their own 1-yard line. And they bring the ball out. Now the line of scrimmage going to be just about the 15, 16-yard line. So Rhode Island moving slowly, but again, a good opportunity for the Rams to give their defense a breather. Rhode Island coming up with a big forced fumble and recovery at the 1-yard line, and that has set up this drive for URI. 1st and 10, and the handoff goes to Bryant. Bryant gets out of the first wave, and he's going to pick up the first down on the second effort. A great run for the redshirt senior.
Starting to look like the Rams are getting a little bit of steam and confidence and driving down the field, and hopefully they can get this first down and continue to make plays.
So Bryant will be marked just short of the first down. He's got, coming into today's game, 57 rushes. Next closest on the team is Matt Pyers with 6. So when he's in the backfield, Rhode Island trusts him. He does a bulk, if not all, of their offensive work in the backfield. Priori throws it downfield, and he overthrew Isaiah Coulter.
You see Vito just wanted to get the ball out of his hands. If you look down the field, there's one blue jersey and a whole lot of white.
Third down.
Coulter's going to jog off. So they're going to bring out another tight end for URI. Hunter Gorgeous, number 87. Parker still out there. The Rams last in the league, though, in rushing per game. Just 91.7 rush yards per contest. 3rd and 1. They rush it this time, and they get the first down and a little bit more. Again, the ball into the breadbasket of Zoe Bryant. He's knocked down again. Bryant continues to look for a flag as he's been hit a couple times after the whistle. He comes out of the game right now, but Zoe impressing early on in this game. He's got 16 yards on the ground, averaging 5.3 yards per rush. And that'll help the Rhode Island offense that is so good through the air. Priori 344 yards per game. But another first down for URI. Priori slings this one and in and out of the hands of Amir Dorsey. Great defensive play by Gavin Heslop, senior captain.
Stony Brook's defensive line is almost getting back there whenever they want to, which is clearly forced Vito to get the ball out of his hands early this whole entire game so far.
2nd and 10 now. Rhode Island's offense is kind of got that feeling where they can just get some type of spark, a big play. That happens when you have Aaron Parker and Isaiah Coulter on each end of the line of scrimmage. As Dorsey goes in motion, they fake it to him, and the handoff goes to Bryant, and Bryant again with a big run. We'll bring up 3rd and short. Just shy of the 40-yard line.
It's looking like Zoe's starting to run angry. It's like he's running with a vengeance and wants to make the Stony Brook defense pay.
Rhode Island has looked pretty good on this drive. The rushing attack will help him. That's rush attempt number 6 for Bryant. And he's now got 37 yards on the ground. All the positive rushes for URI come from him. Vito Priori's been sacked a couple times, so he has the negative rushing yards. But 3rd and 4, Priori throws it, and that one incomplete. Isaiah Coulter thought maybe he'd get a chance at a pass interference penalty, but he won't get it. So the clock stops, and Rhode Island will punt again. This drive started with the forced fumble and fumble recovery by the Rhode Island defense. Mamadou Mbai jarred it loose at the 1-yard line. So they do move the ball 36 yards at least, so Davey Shambartachi comes back out again for the punt. He's had 2 tonight. And Constant is back again to receive at the 20, one of the best punt returners in the country. Him and Amir Dorsey, so a good matchup in special teams today too. The 4th and 4 punt is away, and it's going to get fair caught at the 21-yard line. So a great punt for Davey. And we'll keep it right here. Stony Brook still up by a score. The defense came up big. Rhode Island got the ball moving a little bit more. But again, Miles, we haven't really seen that breakout play from the Rams offense yet.
Yeah, so far it looks like Rhode Island's game plan is to control the clock. They don't seem very pressed to get the ball down the field and take the big shots like we've seen from them in the first couple games of the season. I'm not quite sure whether that's the strategy or that's the strength of the Stony Brook defense and what they're allowing them to do. I think the next time around we'll see a lot more from Rhode Island's offense.
1st and 10, a handoff play on 1st down again, and Rhode Island's defensive front does its job against Isaiah White, but White has been so good tonight. His 7th carry, that's a game high, and he's got 23 yards. 3rd best in the game right now. Tyson Lawton leading the way for Stony Brook. He's got 36 yards on the ground. But Stony Brook has really built their teams this way, in particular under Chuck Priori in the CAA era. They run the ball out, they control clock on offense, and their defense is tough to get around. Rhode Island a couple seasons ago at Stony Brook held a 3-0 advantage into the last couple minutes, and they sparked 2 big plays and got a 14-3 lead. As this will bring up 3rd down, the rush goes to White again. And the Rams defense has another golden opportunity to get off the field. But 3rd downs have gone in favor of the Seawolves, 2 for 2. 100% thus far. They waste no time, get back to the line, and they won't get the first down there. That'll bring up 4th down, and the first time we're going to see the punter. On 4th and 1, they might keep the offense out there. and they're not going to chance it. Chuck Priori brings his quarterback and offense out. Amir Dorsey comes out to receive the punt, and the punting unit led by Mitchell Wright. Redshirt junior comes out. First time we've seen him tonight, but a big defensive stop for the Rams.
That was extremely important. I think on both sides, offense and defense, the Rams need to do a better job on third down. And there they get their first stop, and maybe this will give a spark to the offense.
So Pyers and Dorsey back to receive. A laser of a kick that goes into the awaiting hands of Dorsey. And Dorsey's bottled up. And no, the whistle didn't blow. And he's going to keep going to the 35. And the whistle didn't blow. Dorsey took it upon himself. And that'll bring us to a break. Stony Brook up 7-0. The Rams looking to tie this ball game up when we come back. Back here at Meade Stadium, Rhode Island forced a 3-and-out against a very good Stony Brook offensive attack, but they'll go to work now offensively. Aaron Parker has been targeted 3 times, just 2 receptions from Vito Priori. But the Rams and Seawolves continue to go back and forth. A different kind of pace to this game, in particular if you tuned into the Delaware game.
Is that the runner was not down prior to the tackle is under further review.
And we're going to go to a review right away, but they're reviewing right before we went to break. Amir Dorsey on the punt return had really fielded it around the 10 or 15-yard line. And a couple Seawolves had met him right away. No whistle was blown. He got out to the 35-yard line. That's where the ball is dropped right now. So that's what they're reviewing. But in the time being, Stone Freer Miles Ross again with you here from Kingston. A beautiful night for football. Rhode Island hanging on to the last couple really good nights before the cold weather cycles through, as it always does in New England, as we'll get the official review now.
After further review, it was determined that the runner's elbow was down at the 27-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for Rhode Island at the 27-yard line.
So good news for Rhode Island. They still get the ball offensively with a first down. Bad news, it backs up a couple yards to the 27. So a 8-yard demotion for the offense to start at. But Priori looks to be still confused, always getting the play call. But Miles, we're talking off air. I think it's time for Rhode Island to kind of open up their offensive attack a little bit, take a couple chances maybe.
Yeah, last time we were here at Delaware, you saw the amount of times that Vito went down the field with the ball, throwing to Aaron and Amir and Isaiah, and I think it's time for Rhode Island to get back to what they were doing.
First and 10 play, they're going to go to Zoe Bryant, and Bryant will get 2 yards on the play. His 6th carry of the game, 32 yards. The averages on the season get 2 on the ground. He's got 3 touchdowns. So Rhode Island's offense has struggled in terms of the rushing attack. The passing attack's been great. Overall, they have 436 yards per game. That's 4th best in the league. Stony Brook came in as number 1 in that category with 464 total yards per game. So 2 of the top offenses in the league going at it, but we've seen nothing but defenses. This one's completed out to the 40. That's Ivory Frimpong who comes up with the reception and a first down. Haven't heard much from Ivory this season, just 2 receptions for 13 yards, but comes up with a big first down play for the Rhode Island offense to get the chains moving.
Ivory's a guy I know personally, and as you can see here, him coming across the field and catching that ball, he's a big freak athlete, and he has the ability to take it to the house on any catch, and there he makes the big play for the Rhode Island Rams.
So Frimpong with a 13-yard reception. That now doubles his yards on the season. Only had 13 yards coming into the game. Priori begins to collapse, but he throws it deep. He's got a man, and that one is reeled in. Oh, just knocked loose. Aaron Parker had come up with it, but it was Sincere Malone that had knocked it away.
I think on that play, you can make a case for Vito to step up in the pocket and run the ball. As you can see, there's nothing but green grass in front of him. I mean, he went with what he could trust in Aaron Parker, and he just misses it as the defensive back made a great play on it, and we'll see what they can do on the second down.
Priori had talked on the coaches show this week, and he had said he loves that about Aaron Parker. Sometimes his balls aren't perfectly thrown, but it can be picked up by Parker as Bryant spins away from some contact, and he gets pushed forward just shy of the first down maybe, depending on the spot. But Zoe Bryant, again, you had alluded to it earlier, Miles, he looks like he's running with some authority right now, some fire in his back.
Yeah, I don't think that he liked getting pushed back on the ground a couple of times after the whistle. And like I said before, he wants to make them pay. He's running behind his pads, being physical and elusive, and helping the Rams tremendously in their offensive attack.
So Rhode Island will face 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 to be exact. And they're 3 for 6 on 3rd downs thus far, and looks like a timeout will be taken by head coach Jim Fleming. He's using his first.
30-second timeout.
And we're going to take it with them. Rhode Island, their offense continuing to move and looking to score for the first time tonight. And we'll be right back here on Your View. Don't go anywhere. 3rd down coming up for Rhode Island, but Zoe Bryant, the first-string running back, has come off the field. He's getting some attention from the medical staff. And we're about ready to go, though, but Zoe has been an integral part of this offense so far. 7 rushes for 40 yards as Rhode Island works offensively. 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. 50% on the day from 3rd down, as Rhode Island's going to run a interesting format, as it's going to be a direct snap to Aaron Parker, and Parker got the first down. Depending on the snap, he might be just short. And they might have to bring out the chains. And right now he is down at the 51. And it's 4th and 1, so Rhode Island will bring out the punt team. Rhode Island went deep into the playbook, went with a direct snap to Parker, tried to get the outside edge, and they had him a yard short. So Rhode Island will punt it away. Jim Fleming not taking any chances. His team very much in this one. Their defense has made a play tonight. Their offense starting to get the ball moving. And 7 minutes left to go in the half. Sean Bartocci comes out to punt it away again, and this one a good one. That's going to go into the back of the end zone, unfortunately. So it'll be a touchback, but a good boot from the redshirt sophomore punter. And the Rams defense goes back out there. But good news for them, they made a stop at the 1-yard line 2 drives ago and then forced a 3-and-out last time out. So the defense starting to get some rhythm as well.
I have a question, though. Do you think that the coaching staff should be more aggressive in situations like that on a 4th and 1 against such a powerful team on both sides like Stony Brook?
Well, I mean, you raise a fantastic question. Zoe Bryant, though, again, you don't really have that trusted running back. You do have Matt Pyers, but we mentioned the number differential earlier. 57 rushes for Zoe coming into today's game. Pyers with just 6. So if Zoe is available, maybe you take the chance. We haven't seen him come back out on the field now, obviously, into the defensive side, but a great point raised. This run is going to be given to number 7, and he's stuffed in the backfield. Great beat for the Rhode Island front 7, and that one's Tyson Lawton. But in on the tackle looked like Jake Fire, number 58, and Keith Wells as well. Rhode Island will force a 2nd and long. Loss of 6 yards. Jake Fire has been pretty good so far in his redshirt sophomore campaign. That's his 2nd tackle for loss. He's got a fumble recovery. That happened against Ohio. As this one goes back to Lawton, and Lawton is going to get a burst up the middle, and that'll be down at the 30, so it'll pick up a 1st down. Lawton lost 6 yards and then gained 16.
He's brought down number 58, Jake Fire.
Jake Fire again on the tackle. The rushing attack for Stony Brook still doing its job. 83 yards on the ground to just 50 through the air. And after that rush, it's 97 yards now on the ground. Handoff again is to a running back, and Rhode Island stuffs him. But this is why the offense moves so well for Stony Brook, is if they air it out, Tykel Fields decides to go through the air. He's been pretty darn good tonight. He's only incompleted 1 ball. He's 4 for 5 with a touchdown. So they don't stop the clock much at all. He did fumble the ball, though, at the 1. It was tried to get to the outside edge, and Mamadou Mbai hit him and jarred the ball loose. But 1st and 10 upcoming again for the Seawolves. Some motion in the backfield. Fields waits, ton of time, throws it. He's got Constant up at the 45, so a big gainer. Needed just 10. He got 15 for another 1st down.
William Fields a catch for a 1st down. Stony Brook.
And that's 1st down number 10 for the Seawolves already. Still 5 minutes left to go in the first half of action. They've held the Rams scoreless thus far. Vito Priori on the offensive attack for URI, just 8 of 14. And we get a whistle. And it's going to be against Stony Brook. False start.
Number 65. 5-yard penalty.
And that's Ian McLean, St. Augustine, Florida native, redshirt junior right tackle. Is whistled for the offsides. It brings up now 1st and long. Rhode Island and Stony Brook interesting in the penalty department as well. That's just the first penalty against the Seawolves for 5 yards. Rhode Island's been whistled for 2 for 20 yards. But Rhode Island is very well disciplined. Second least amount of penalties in the league at 14. And they only give up 37.7 yards per game in penalty yardage. 1st and 15 though, as Fields is going to keep it. He throws it, and that one in between the hands of Andrew Trent. Incomplete, brings up 2nd and long.
Rhode Island's job here is to keep Stony Brook's offense behind the chains and continue with the momentum that they had on that last defensive drive, and try to give the ball back to the offense and give them a chance to score. I think Rhode Island needs to get points on the board at this point as we're approaching halftime in just a few minutes.
Yeah, and Stony Brook had won the toss. They deferred, so they will get the ball back at halftime. 2nd and 15, and they're going to throw it. It's complete to a tight end over the middle, and the ball comes loose again, and it looks like Stony Brook might have fell back on top of it. One of the offensive linemen, that's the center, Joe DeTore, that fell back on top of it, but another forced fumble for the Rams. And Jake Fire right at the thick of it again. That does bring up 3rd down, and take another look at it.
As he gets the ball to the tight end, and that's Javier Castillo on the tackle and able to rip the ball away from him. And although the Rams don't recover, I think that makes a statement for the Rhode Island defense that, you know, they're not just somebody that you can walk over. They're here to play.
They're winning the turnover battle right now. There's some pressure coming, throwing it towards the near sideline, and it's incomplete. Will bring up 4th and long. And Rhode Island forces Stony Brook to punt on back-to-back drives. So really, you go back to that forced fumble by Mamadou Mbaye in the defense. The Rams have locked in, get some confidence back on the defensive side of the ball. They'll give the ball back to Vito with 3 minutes and 49 seconds left to go.
We'll see exactly how Vito is built. You know, we watched him the last 3 weeks be able to deliver for this offense, and now that the defense have started to make plays, I think they begin to start to feed off of each other, and I'm sure the offense will help out the defense a little bit and try to put some points on the board.
Just the second punt for Wright. It's fair caught at the 21-yard line for Amir Dorsey, and that's where Rhode Island will start another offensive drive. They've yet to find the end zone, but the defense has some rhythm. The offense looking to do just the same and tie this game up before the half. Timeouts, 3 for Stony Brook, 2 for Rhode Island. We mentioned that just nearing the end of the half. Coaches can use those at their disposal. But Vito Priori has been so good all season long, and this is no discredit to him as much as it's a credit to him. But I don't think a lot of people expected this from Vito. He had some big shoes to fill. Didn't press in 4 starts last year, but Jawan Lawson, his imprint on this program in just 1 year as the full-time starter was so big. But Vito now conducting an offense. He leaves it off on the far side and finally taking down. So Bryant had the reception. It's behind the line of scrimmage, so he'll lose maybe a yard on it or 2. 2nd and 12 now.
I think you're totally right about Vito, and people not really expecting this from him. His teammates, they know exactly what he's capable of. But if you're looking from the outside in, you don't see the prototypical quarterback. He's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, you know, but when he's out there, he does exactly what any other quarterback would do, and he makes plays. And as he takes off here and dives for the first, not the first down, but gets him closer and gives him a chance on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a part of Vito's game that I'm not sure we would have seen last year. He worked a lot in the offseason, had a great camp. And again, he's not the fastest on the field. You mentioned his body structure, just 6'2", 187 pounds. But he's smart, got a great IQ. We've seen him a couple of times tonight physically step up in the pocket as it begins to collapse in back of him. He's got a great offensive line in front of him. He's only been sacked 4 times coming into today's game. 3rd and 5, though, as Vito corrals it with one hand. He throws it, and he's got Frimpong again, a 1st down. So Ivory, with 2 receptions, 13 yards coming into today, now picks up his 2nd reception. And another first down. Both of his receptions are for first downs tonight. Excellent job for the junior.
And I think one more thing that not a lot of people know about Vito is that he's only a redshirt junior. He's still
Great
got
point.
another year under his belt. So on top of what he's already doing, he can come back next season and be even better.
2 minutes left to go. Vito hands it off. Pyers will take the handoff. Spins away at the 40, and he's taken down there, so it's a 2-yard gain. We have seen Bryant come back into the game, but Pyers gets the handoff there, and he's going to come out in favor of Zoe right now. 2nd and 7 to go. 100 seconds left to go in the first half. But back to Vito on the redshirt junior side, you're absolutely right. He came in 2015, but in the spring of 2016, the school year 2015-2016, so he didn't play at all. From Atlanta, Georgia. 2nd and 7, though, as he continues to work his offense. Play action. He's going to throw it, and he's got Isaiah Coulter, who's trying to get out of the defensive holding, or rather held on to by TJ Morrison. Gets credited with the tackle. Brings up 3rd and short again with a minute left to go. Jim Fleming has used just 1 timeout, so he's letting the clock roll here a little bit. A win-win situation. Best case, you pick up a first down. Worst case, you can let the ball, or rather let the clock roll all the way to halftime. Play clock is at 15. Game clock is at 47 seconds. Peoria is waiting patiently, gets the snap on 3rd and 3. Vito's going to throw it, and that one just off of the hands of Aaron Parker, looking for the first down, and Parker would have had some space in front of him. But 4th and 3, Rhode Island will have to punt it again, and their offense had looked better, but not enough to get into the end zone. Stony Brook's defense has just been so good tonight. They look great.
Yeah, absolutely. And what Rhode Island is trying to do is find that one big play that'll spark them for the rest of this game. I think Stony Brook still has the advantage over them as they've continuously been able to get them off the field, and Rhode Island trying to capitalize.
So here's Somartucci again. A good punt. This one's going to be fair caught at the 15. And Stony Brook will have 34 seconds and 3 timeouts to try to get back into the scoring column. Their first and only score, the only score of the game, comes with 8 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the first quarter. An 11-yard pass from Fields to Gene Constant, the 5th-year grad student formerly from Bryant University. See him on special teams a lot too, but he's got the 1 reception for a touchdown. Other than that, both defenses have locked in. Rhode Island has forced a fumble. A fumble recovery at the 1-yard line, and that really brings us right here. We've seen just back and forth defensive efforts. They're going to run it with Isaiah White. White gets to the 30, and he's going to get held up and tackled finally at the 35-yard line. So a big gainer on first down in the first play from scrimmage.
Timeout.
And Stony Brook's going to take a timeout. Wisely done by Chuck Priori, who is one of the best. And this one, he just gets a hole up the middle and took it himself.
Yeah, and he, as you can see there, he's running hard down the field and trying to put the Stony Brook offense in position to get some more points before halftime. As you can see, it's only 7-0. So, like you said earlier, Rhode Island is still very much in this game, and it's just been tit for tat, back and forth. Great defensive effort for both teams. Stony Brook getting that score early on, which gives them a 7-point lead, but Rhode Island's defense not giving up much of anything after that.
28 seconds left to go, and it's a first down pass now on the play action. Airs it out way downfield, got a man open and incomplete. Bobbled off the hands of number 81, Delonte Helms Jr. And he had beat 2 Rams. He had a couple Rhode Islanders behind him, but just a great ball, just a little too much on it.
Yeah, it was almost like a hole shot right between the 2 Rhode Island defenders. Unfortunately for the Rhode Island defense, he wasn't able to come up with the ball, but I think they've got to be more aware of where the receivers are on the field from here on out.
2nd and 10. They hand the ball off again, and just shy of the 50-yard line, upended by Rhode Island's 21, Brian Campbell. And the clock will continue to roll, or it'll stop momentarily for the first down, and now stops officially after the timeout. So Stony Brook well in range to score again. They have 1 timeout remaining. And the Rhode Island defense has done really a great job here in the first half. And in comparison to what they've done the past couple games, you can't help but highlight it. Against UNH, gave up 27 points, game-winning. They lost on a game-winning field goal. But the defense giving up a lot of yards per game. This game, though, they have bent but not broke. They have given up 133 first-half yards, 12 first downs. 16 seconds left to go. 1 timeout remains for Stony Brook in the first half. And they're still in their own side of the field. Weeks takes the snap. He's going to get flushed out. Rhode Island's getting some pressure on him now. He airs it out, and that ball is incomplete with 9 seconds left to go. And Fields again showing off the cannon. He can throw it. And Anderson was the intended receiver. See him right there, number 87. So 9 seconds left to go in the half. 2nd and 10. Rhode Island can come up with a stop. Just create some momentum because they have to go right back to work defensively on the other side of halftime. Weeks gets to the line. He's got trips. Looks like he might air it out again, but he's got 1 man in the backfield. 8 seconds and rolling. Weeks is going to air this one out way downfield towards the end zone, and that ball is intercepted. Yes, it is. Mamadou Mbai with another interception, it looks like. And it is Mamadou Mbai. And that will conclude the half. But an interception credited to Mamadou Mbai. He's now got 4 on the season through 4 games. A fantastic half defensively for Rhode Island, but a better half defensively for Stony Brook as they blank the Rhode Island Rams after 30 minutes of play. 7-0, the Seawolves over the Rams. We'll step aside. We'll come back with halftime and more from Meade Stadium. But CJ Carrick out there to kick it away for URI. And Gene Constant is back to receive the kick for Stony Brook University. Rhode Island going to move the opposite from the first half. Across your television screen, they will move from left to right. And that's going to be a flag. It was booted out of bounds. And it's an easy penalty. And that's going to give 10 yards to Stony Brook in a game like this that yards are few and far between. That's a tough break for Jim Fleming's special teams unit. And Stony Brook will gladly take advantage of it. They only have to go 65 yards now for a score.
It'll be interesting to see what type of approach Stony Brook has on offense this go around. The first half we saw a very quick, fast-paced offense, and looks like we're going to see the same thing here. And
White gets the handoff and a big burst into the secondary. He crosses midfield on the first play of the second half. Isaiah White, again, so good. Just now his 11th rush of the game, up past 60 yards. And again, it kind of sets the rhythm for a Stony Brook offense. Rhode Island locked in defensively against Tykel Fields in the later half of the first half. But they waste no time, get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to throw it. He's going to slant, and a reception out to the 40 and to the 35-30 falling forward, and that looks like Andrew Trent. You know, that's Anderson. And Seawolf, that's Isaiah Givens, is struggling to get up, and he'll get some medical attention. Unfortunately, we've seen a lot of that tonight. Joey Kenny is out, the starting tight end for URI. He took a bad hit to the knee. We've seen Zoe Bryant have to come off. Mamadou Mbai has had a great half, but he had to come off. And now this is potentially Isaiah Givens having to go off, but that's the reception for Nick Anderson. And it was another first down. Anderson's first reception of the day. Gene Constant has 3. He leads them. And Rhode Island took a Another hit in their defensive front. Tez Wilson injured in the first half as well. So unfortunately, we've seen a lot of it tonight. And Tez missed all last season with a foot. So we don't have timetables or anything. We just know what's happened tonight. And this is Givens now leaning forward and getting some attention. Just 3 receptions on the season. He was not in on the play in terms of the reception, but he might have tweaked his ankle, it looked like. And he's walking off gingerly, but he does get to walk off on his own power. And now he'll get some help from the trainers. So Stony Brook inside Rhode Island territory, looking to make it a 2-score game on the first drive of the second half. They started this at the 35-yard line. Now the ball's at the 31. And this has only taken place over the last 33 seconds. Shotgun snap. Fakes the handoff, throws it, looking, and he's got a man open and inside the 10. And that again is Nick Anderson. 2 receptions now, 2 big ones in that. And on just 4 plays, the Seawolves are inside of the Rhode Island 10. And again, we see the arm from Fields, who's been so good tonight. This time he hands it off to White, and White's going to get stuffed. Rhode Island's defensive front has looked good tonight. Struggled their way through the first 3 games of the season. The Rams again looking for win number 1 on the year. Seawolves 3-1, looking for their first conference win of the season. They joined the CAA in 2013. Their first win against a CAA opponent came right here at Meade Stadium against Rhode Island that year. They shut out the Rams. 24-0 on September 7th, 2013. The handoff goes to Lawton, and Lawton again will maybe get a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and goal. So another chance for the Rhode Island defense to bend but not break and force a field goal attempt. 3rd and 6. Stony Brook today is 3 for 5 in that category on 3rd down.
Even with a field goal here, I think that Rhode Island should not be worried at all. It's only a 10-point lead should they get a field goal instead of a touchdown. But here we go.
Play action. Anderson is the intended receiver, and it's incomplete. He's not going to get a flag, and no, it comes in late. And Stony Brook will hope for a pass interference, and that's what they're going to get. Second pass interference call that happens in the end zone against Rhode Island.
Number 16. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic.
And that's against Brandon Javier Castillo, number 16. Ball will be spotted at the 2. And a fresh set of downs for the Seawolves. Saw that earlier. Malik Wilder was also whistled for that, and looks like Tyson Lawton's going to be stopped short of the goal line. 2nd and goal now.
The ball carrier. He's tripped up by number 28, Mamadou Elmby.
And actually, I think the official had said the wrong number. It was not 16. It was 26. So Quadir Brown was whistled for that pass interference. Second and goal from the 1. The snap. Handoff again, and Lawton gets in this time. The Seawolves take the lead by 2 scores. He needed 2 yards on 1st down. He got a yard, needs 1 yard on 2nd down and picks it up. And the touchdown for Tyson Lawton, his 2nd of the season. And the Stony Brook Seawolves take a 2-score lead over the home team, URI, 13-0.
Now I think it's time for Rhode Island to get deeper into their playbook and start to find a solution as to why they're scoreless.
7 plays, 65 yards in just 2 minutes and 55 seconds. And Courtney now comes out for his 2nd PAT attempt. He's only missed 1 this season. He's 1 for 1 tonight. So the Rams come out of the halftime break. Stony Brook marches right down the field. We've yet to see the Rhode Island offense here in the second half. 20-yard extra point. Snap is down. It's up, and the kick is through. So another point added to the Stony Brook lead, 14-0, and we're going to step aside. We'll see the first of Vito Priori, Aaron Parker, and the rest of the Rhode Island offense in the second half just after this. Stony Brook takes the lead by 2 scores. A touchdown run for Tyson Lawton, his second of the season, puts the Seawolves up by 2 scores. Run for Tyson Lawton, his second of the season, puts the Seawolves up by 2 scores, 14-0 over URI. Rhode Island will get their first look offensively of the second half upcoming here after the kickoff. Courtney again back out there to kick it away. 2 men back in Pryor's end. Amir Dorsey to receive inside the 5 for URI. Rhode Island struggled in the first half offensively. Only picked up 6 first downs, 74 yards through the air. And this is coming from an offensive attack that is one of the best in the CAA by air. The best, 344.3 passing yards per game. This one's going to be fielded by URI's Dorsey. Dorsey comes out to the middle of the field looking for the 30, and he'll be just shy of that. And Vito Priori comes back out for the Rhode Island offense.
I think here is a must-score drive for the Rams. Now you're looking at a 2-possession deficit, and if Stony Brook has the ability to stop the Rams on this drive, then they can continue to attack and win field position and ultimately make it even worse. So for the Rams here, it's a must-score.
Aaron Parker just 2 receptions for 22 yards. His long was 14 in the first half. He's the closest receiver to the near sideline as the handoff is going to go to Zoe Bryant, and he'll get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Maybe even lost a yard. Brings up second down. He lost 2, second and 12. Lopez, the big fellow up there, in on the stop, makes a play. 12th tackle of the season. So Rhode Island again right back to the line of scrimmage. Priori's first half numbers, 11 of 18, 74 yards. He was sacked twice. Rhode Island offensive line has only given up 4 sacks through the first 3 games, have given up 2 tonight. Priori, a completion again to Ivory Frimpong, and there's a flag that comes in. But Frimpong gets the first down momentarily. It was in the backfield, it looks like. And we'll see this.
Holding, offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty for the
And
previous
Kevin
foul.
Lawrence
Second down.
whistled for the holding penalty, and that backs up Rhode Island 10 yards, negates the first down. Rhode Island, the second best team in terms of penalties they've had this season, 14 on the year through 3 games. But they haven't done their best tonight. It's the 3rd penalty against the Rams. Cost them 24 yards. So 2nd and 22 from the 16. The Rams need the 38-yard line for a first down. They're going to throw it here. Bryant's got it. Gets out of bounds. Another reception for the running back, out of the backfield. Seawolves have owned Rhode Island. We talked about the overall series 6-0, but their average margin of victory against Rhode Island is 20.5 points. They outscore the Rams 29.8 to 9.3 in the 6 meetings. Dates back to before Jim Fleming's time here in Kingston. 3rd and 17 now. Priori airs it out, nearly intercepted. In and out of the hands of the Stony Brook linebacker.
Priori's pass is incomplete.
And that'll bring out the punt team. So a 2-score game remains. Rhode Island can't get the ball moving. They had a first down that came back after the holding call by Kevin Lawrence, the senior right tackle. And that forced him back 10 more yards. That has us now at 4th and very long. Sean Bartocci comes out. He had 5 punts for 42.8 yards per punt in the first half. This one is going to be at the 40 and decked right away. Great special teams play by Rhode Island. Constant had it and didn't fair catch it. And Chris Arrington comes up with a big hit. Rhode Island still down by 2 scores. We're going to keep it right here. We'll take another look at the special teams play.
You see Rhode Island special teams, punt team going down fast, and Chris Arrington being able to deliver the humongous blow on Stony Brook's punt returner as you see him getting hyped there towards his sideline. And hopefully that can hype up the defense a little bit to make the same type of plays.
So back come the Stony Brook offense. Tykel Fields, they scored on their first drive of the second half. He's going to throw it here, and he's got a man complete. And he was touched, so he's down, but that's Anderson again. He's had a great second half, his 3rd reception of the second half. And he's becoming Fields' #1 target. And the Lakewood, California native comes up with another big reception on first down. It's first down again. Ball's at the 50. Rhode Island's defense in the first half looked sharp. An interception and a forced fumble. This is White, though, gets into the secondary. Still up on his feet, fighting with Rashad Dickerson, and a flag comes in. And White had a huge hole at the line of scrimmage. Chuck Priori out there, the head coach for Stony Brook, to await the call. And looks like they're moving backwards.
Personal foul, blindside block, number 87 on the offense. The 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
So that'll negate the big run. Nick Anderson whistled for the penalty, 15 yards. So the ball was at the 50-yard line. It's going to come back 15 yards from the spot of the foul, though. So it brings up 1st and 16 from the 44.
It's times like this when Rhode Island's defense needs to realize what they can do with this penalty and having Stony Brook backed up from their original spot.
Another handoff, and this time Rhode Island does well with it. But Stony Brook has relied heavily on their rushing attack, and they're not going anywhere with it. They had 2 great running backs last year, including Donald Leontine. 354 yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns in last year's matchup between these 2 squads. Mentioned Fordham's numbers, or the Stony Brook numbers versus Fordham. 200-yard rushers, couple touchdowns on the ground. 2nd and 12 now for the offense. And Rhode Island brought some pressure, and fighting through the initial wave is Lawton. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Campbell with the tackle. And they get right back to the line so effectively in that manner. 3rd and 4th for the Rhode Island defense. 3 for 5 tonight are the Seawolves on 3rd down. Rhode Island looking to force 3 for 6. This ball's thrown and caught by the tight end, shoved out of bounds. A reception for Zachary Lucas. And it's a first down and an extra yard. And again, Stony Brook hasn't done too much tonight that would surprise you. They rely on the rushing attack, and their completions are pretty simple routes. Fields doing great here in the second half. He teetered away at the end of the first half. He's got a touchdown and interception, 130 yards, 10 completions. Some pressure now from Rhode Island. Pushed way back. A flag comes in. This one's thrown. Nobody out there. It's incomplete, out of bounds. And my guess, based on the collapse of the offensive line, a hold against the offensive line.
Holding, offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
James Tunstall, the UConn transfer.
Rhode Island had a great push here against Stony Brook's offensive line, and you could see the tug on the back of the jersey by 71 on Javier Castillo, which forced the penalty. As long as Rhode Island's defense can get back there like that, I think they'll be in a great position to climb back in this game and make it even.
So a QB hurry credited to Javier Castillo, the hold from James Tunstall. This in the backfield again. Fields trying to get upfield, and he's hit behind. Andre Blackett. He's looked pretty good tonight. Already has a sack and a second one in that. Brings up 2nd and very long. 2nd and 22. The ball at the 49-yard line. They need the 29-yard line.
If you notice up top on the defense, number 14, Kavion Holmes, has been put in that corner.
Second and long, Stony Brook runs it, and Rhode Island makes the stop at the 50. A yard gainer for Saban Naket. And this will bring up 3rd and 21. Chuck Peoria has a decision to make here. You can wave the white flag and maybe run a draw play. But with their running backs, then again, 21 yards is very manageable on the ground, or you can go Fields through the air. They branch out some wideouts, though, 2 on each side of the line of scrimmage. Rhode Island looking to send their offense back out onto the field, and they are going to throw it. Some pressure, floats it out, and incomplete. A big hit by the Rhode Island defensive front, and Tykel Fields incompletion. And again, Miles, it's going to fall into the Rhode Island offense's hands now. The defense gave up that touchdown drive to start off, but they've looked pretty good now. And the punt team comes out for Stony Brook.
Yeah, you know, it's very unfamiliar for this Rhode Island offense to not have produced as much as they have this game. It's been the defense that have kind of anchored down and try to put the team on their back and make something out of this game.
An end-over-end punt that Amir Dorsey will fair catch just outside of the 10-yard line, and we're going to take a break. Stony Brook up 14-0. Rhode Island needs to get something going offensively.
Back to the field, your Ravens. Let's hear it for your Ravens.
The Stony Brook defense back out to take on the Rhode Island offense, and their defense second in the league in the CAA, 338.5 total yards of defense allowed per game. A scary number. Stone Freeman and Miles Ross back with you. But even more impressive than that number, the Seawolves gave up 717 yards of offense to FBS Utah State. If you take away those numbers, they've given up just 205 yards to Bryant, 209 to Wagner, and 223 to Fordham. So their numbers certainly inflated on the defensive side from that one game against Utah State. Zoe Bryant takes the carry, and he's stopped by Augie Petressa. So we haven't seen much offense from Rhode Island tonight, a credit to the Stony Brook defense. And also they've started to get a little timid here in the second half in particular.
Yeah, it looked like early on, especially towards the latter end of the first half, Rhode Island's offense seemed to get some type of push, but as you stated, it's pretty much come to a halt.
Second and 12, Vito inside of his own 5 as he takes the shotgun snap. Some pressure, he's going to step up, throw it on the run, and he's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Great defensive effort again from Augie Contressa. He's got the tackle on the first play on this drive, and now it's knocked away. And he had a man wide open.
You know, Vito dropping back, trying to get his reads. It looked like he might run for a second, but Ivory Frimpong comes open, and Vito tries to deliver him the ball. but it's knocked down by the Stony Brook defender.
And the closest defender to Frimpong was Kirsten Johnston, the University of South Florida transfer linebacker. But the stop made by the linebacker Augie Contressa. 3rd and 12. Fluttering snap. Vito's going to air it out. He throws it, and that ball is incomplete. He was looking for Isaiah Coulter, and the flag comes in. And Coulter wanted it, and he's going to get it. It's going to go against number 10, Kareem Galvin. Wait the official call.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 10. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
And on that play, Isaiah, like Aaron Parker, Vito puts full trust in Isaiah. There was a big play made late in the 4th quarter against New Hampshire by Isaiah, and he thought he might be able to come up with that one there. And although they didn't get the reception, the pass interference just as good, as it gives them an automatic first plus 15 yards.
So Rhode Island will now get a first down and 15 yards. Vito got it to Isaiah Coulter, and the play you're referring to was on 4th and 2 on the final offensive drive for Rhode Island. He hit him for a 27-yard strike. He's going to throw it again to Coulter, and this time Isaiah reels it in at the 30-yard line. He had T.J. Morrison. Morrison wanted offensive pass interference, but Coulter draws the penalty for a first down and now picks up Rhode Island's biggest play of the game thus far. A big play from Vito Priori to Isaiah Coulter, and the Rams have moved to the 30-yard line inside Stony Brook territory.
Vito again drops back and looks down the field and launches it to Isaiah and finds redemption on this pass as he reels it in for the humongous Rhode Island first down.
45 yards for a first down and more, and the biggest play of the evening for URI. This one handed off to Zoe Bryant. Bryant will get a yard or two.
He's tackled by number 24.
Bryant's 10th carry of the game now. Rhode Island just 22 overall yards on the ground. Been a slow day at the offense on the rushing attack. Coulter's 2 receptions for 50 yards now leads the team, and 5 yards shy of the lead of the game, 55 yards for Nick Anderson on the Stony Brook sideline. 2nd and 8 now for URI. Trying to make this a one-score game again. Some pressure, floated out and knocked down at the line again, looking for Matt Pyers.
One person we haven't seen much of today, and surprisingly so, is Aaron Parker. Every week we talk about how big his impact is on this offense and his ability to put the Rhode Island Rams in position to score. But tonight it's been a different story. I think Stony Brook may have game planned for him and his big play ability, and although that's the case, it's opened up the opportunities for other receivers like Isaiah and Ivory with his couple of catches, and opened up the run game for Zoe.
Vito's going to throw it, and he's got a man. That's Parker with his 3rd reception of the game. He's got a first down and inside the 15. And Parker's got to get moving here, just his 3rd reception. And if you look at his other numbers versus Ohio, 9 catches, 144 yards, a touchdown. Versus Delaware, one of the best games in the history of Rhode Island receiving, 12 receptions, 227 yards, and a touchdown. And versus UNH last week, 9 receptions for 144 yards. But if Parker can get going late here in the second half, the Rams will be in business. 17 yards for a first down. Priori's going to throw it. End zone, and reeled in by Aaron Parker. Touchdown grab right on cue for the senior. Back-to-back receptions, this time a touchdown grab, his 3rd of the year, and the Rams are now down a score.
You would think they kind of heard us from all the way up here talking about Aaron as he gets the touchdown pass there, and we were just talking about getting him going. There he comes up huge to cut this lead short for Stony Brook.
Coming into this drive, Aaron just had 2 receptions for 22 yards. Now after the drive, 4 receptions, a touchdown, and 51 yards. Carrick's extra point is up and through, and it's a 7-point game. 14-7, we're going to keep it right here, but the offense moves. Coulter involved early on in the drive. Aaron Parker becomes active late, but this is a tough catch, and he reels it in.
Yeah, and it's right over his shoulders, placed perfectly right over himself where only he can get it. and Vito makes a perfect throw, and Aaron makes a perfect catch, and now Rhode Island is only down by 1 possession.
And you said it perfectly, Miles. The only spot was he could get it. There was just 7 points combined between both teams in the first half, and now we've had 14 combined points here in the second half. Rhode Island's come courtesy of that guy. It was Aaron Parker, number 6, and Rhode Island will go back to work defensively. C.J. Carrick to kick it away. But some energy now in this game, it seems, on both sides. Both Stony Brook struggled offensively a bit. They score on their first drive of the second half. Rhode Island took them a little bit to get their wheels underneath them, but they've begun to drive. It's Parker and Coulter that each have over 50 yards through the air. This is going to get brought out by Constant. He's hit at the 20 and met right away. Great special teams play by Rhode Island's 58. And that's Jake Fire.
And Jake Fire, it seems like every single time we come out here, and it's special teams, we talk about Jake. He gets his opportunities on defense, but every time he's out on kickoff or punt, he makes his mark. He seems to always find the ball and put his nose right on it.
Well, Jim Fleming and his Rhode Island team, you hate to say it this early on in the season, we're only a quarter of the way through, but a lot of these games, especially CAA contests, become must-wins when you start off the year 0-2 rather in conference play. And I think Fleming knows that. His staff knows it. But they've looked good tonight. They've made adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. They've come up with 2 turnovers. And Fleming, just by the way he carries himself, he paces the sidelines, very active. And he needs a win tonight for his program. Just 3 minutes left to go in the third.
Yeah, and to go back to Coach Flem, he's just one of those coaches. He's a player's coach, and he's involved in everything that his players do, and he makes sure that he and his players have a personal relationship because he understands the importance of that relationship and how it could benefit the football team.
Isaiah White gets the carry, and he gets the first down, but there's Coach again.
And there's been a huge emphasis throughout practice by Coach. He, as you said, feels that sense of urgency after starting off 0-2 in conference play. He knows it, and he got his staff behind him and his team behind him, and everybody knows what's at stake.
Fields is going to air it out, and that ball is incomplete. He was looking again for one of really his top 2 targets, Andrew Trent. Rashad Dickerson there on the defense, and he's happy about it. Trent has looked pretty good, though, today, and he's the team leader with 60 yards per game. Him and Nick Anderson have both been active early, but this is just great defense by Rashad.
Rashad Dickerson is one of those DBs who has a lot of speed and can run with just about anybody, and there he blankets the wide receiver and is able to get Stony Brook to second down.
2nd and 10. The handoff goes to Lawton, and it'll make it 3rd and manageable. And there's a flag, though, that comes in. And it was in the backfield. It's a hold against, or hold on.
Holding, offense, number 44, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
The hold is against the tight end, Zachary Lucas. He flanked the line of scrimmage. And the second holding penalty against the Stony Brook Seawolves tonight. That's going to back them up 10 yards. 2nd and 20.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm starting to feel this different energy throughout the building, and I think early on people may have been discouraged at being a 14-0 lead, but after that touchdown score and a great defensive effort, people are starting to know that the Rams are still in this game and have the capabilities to still pull out the win.
3rd down, just a 2-yard gain, 3rd and 18. And Stony Brook, again, they have a very deep playbook with the amount of weapons they have in the backfield. They waste no time. Get back to the line of scrimmage, but the Rams, talk about a momentum swing here if they can come up with a stop. On 3rd and long. Fields takes the snap, gets some pressure. He's going to air it out, and he's got a man, and it's caught. A big play on 3rd down. Andrew Trent had beat the cornerback. And a beautifully placed ball by Tykel Fields on 3rd and 18. And deep inside Rhode Island territory, the Seawolves go.
In these last few drives, Rhode Island has switched cornerbacks in the field, switching between about 3 different people. And on that one, it's Number 25.
Yeah, that's Rhode Island's Jordan Jones. This is a big break, though, for Stony Brook inside the 10. Lawton got the carry.
The ball carrier.
So Stony Brook again looking to silence the Rams. Rhode Island had forced 3rd and long as Jones spills onto the sidelines. He did get off the field by himself, but the training staff hustles over to him. 1st and goal from the 9. Seawolves offense looking to make this a 2-score game again before the 4th quarter. Handoff goes to White. White gets a burst and a 4-yard gain.
Isaiah White, the ball carrier.
And Priori's going to slow down his offense a bit. He can still get one more play off before the quarter ends. This is where Rhode Island locked in the first half. They forced a fumble at the 1-yard line. And Fields is going to get his play as the clock rolls to 10 seconds. And they're going to walk off the field. So this will take us to the 4th. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line for the Stony Brook Seawolves, looking to make it 2 scores again over Rhode Island. And we're going to head to the 4th just after this. 14-7, the Seawolves got the lead. First play of the 4th quarter will be a 2nd and goal opportunity for the Seawolves. Stone Freeman, Miles Ross back here on the call of Rhode Island and Stony Brook football. And the final 15 minutes of play here. Shotgun snap to the quarterback. He hands it off to White, and White will be a yard short to bring up 3rd and goal. And White now, after a couple yards, is up past 100 for his 2nd straight game. On 17 carries, Tyson Lawton is 6 yards shy of 100. Last time out against Fordham, it was Sabah Naquette and Isaiah White that each had 100. So now there'll be 3 different Seawolves that have 100-yard games over the last 2. And it becomes 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. A chance for the Rhode Island defense to make a stop. The handoff goes to White, and he waltzed right in. The Seawolves take a 2-score lead again. Isaiah White, the touchdown run. His first touchdown of the game. Tyson Lawton's got one on the ground. 4 different Seawolves running backs have scored this season. And Isaiah White gets the job done. And an extra point opportunity now for the Seawolves to take the lead by 14. Nick Courtney out again. He's made 2 tonight. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is through. And it's a 14-point deficit the Rams will have to crawl out of. Rams were in this territory against UNH, down 14 in the 4th quarter. They tied it up on their last offensive drive before losing on a game-winning field goal, but here's another look at that touchdown, and White just seemed untouched right into the end zone. Stony Brook looking for their 3rd straight win and looking for a 1-0 start in CAA play. They're just outside of the top 25 in the nation at 27. Chuck Priori has to love the direction his team is going. Defense has blanked the Rams. We saw Aaron Parker get going there at the end of the last offensive drive. He's got a touchdown now, but only 51 yards. 121 shy of his average. But the Rams offense again has been clicking, so this game far from over. Essentially the whole quarter left, just 30 seconds chewed off the clock. Nick Courtney to kick it away. Back is Amir Dorsey.
It's important for the Rams not to get discouraged and continue to fight on offense and defense to climb back in this game, because it's not out of reach.
Dorsey's going to receive it. He's going to have to run with it. Gets to the 10. Dorsey, he's got some room. Dorsey still on his feet to the 40. Amir Dorsey still up. Nobody will touch him to the 10. Dorsey, touchdown. Special teams, part of the Rhode Island identity, and it comes through tonight. Amir Dorsey brings it 99 yards to the house, and the Rams within a score again.
He's been such a game changer for the Rams. this whole entire season, and once again tonight comes up huge for the Rams.
And now Carrick out to kick the extra point. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Huge play for URI. They give up a score, and just 14 seconds taken off the clock. And that's all Amir Dorsey needed to bring the ball back 99 yards. Carrick's kick is good, and now a one-score game yet again. 21-14, the Seawolves will go back to work offensively when we come back. Amir Dorsey for URI brings this ball back 99 yards for the touchdown. A second-team all-conference punt returner last season comes up with a kick return for a score. He had one man to beat right here at the 15, and he beat the foot race to the end zone, and the Rams within a score again. Miles, this offensive team for Rhode Island struggling a bit. The defense in the second half struggling. Job getting done on special teams, a place that the Rams put a ton of emphasis.
Every single day of practice, special teams is worked on, and it's never anything that's taken lightly. Coach Fleming makes it a point of emphasis every day. And, you know, being that I can't play this year, I'm one of the guys on the scout teams that gives the special teams guys that are out here tonight a look. And me, along with every single other guy that's out there with the red hat on, try our best every single day to give them the best effort that we can to ensure that on Saturday nights like this, plays like that can happen.
So Amir Dorsey, 2 returns for touchdowns, both on punts last season. Only has 6 kick returns coming into today's game, but he's got 1 for a touchdown now, and literally the ball goes back into the hands of the Stony Brook offense. Metaphorically, the ball goes back into the hands of the Rhode Island defense. A one-score game again with 14-14 left to go in the fourth quarter. They got to get through Fields, though, who completes a first down play, and it's a 6-yard gainer.
Fields pass completes number 86, Andrew Trent.
And Trent with another reception. So the Rams getting some help defensively tonight. An interception and a forced fumble from Mamadou Mbai as another Ram is down. Looks like that's 44, Jason Maxson. And trainers rush out to him. He'll get some help. But Rhode Island's offense has had its streaks. They have one touchdown drive where Isaiah Coulter and Aaron Parker came alive. The defense has looked good. Now the special teams gets involved. And Coach Fleming talking on his coach's show this week with the voice of the Rams, Steve McDonald, and they talked about how much special teams is ingrained in this culture. You talked about it, Miles, the way you guys practice it. And it's one of those things where, especially in the early on seasons where wins were few and far between for Coach Fleming, there was still the emphasis on special teams. And I had a lot of people questioning, why are you practicing that when you got to worry about the offense and defense? But for Fleming, it's always been good teams play well in all 3 phases of the game. And tonight, we see a 99 kick return for a touchdown, an interception and a forced fumble for the defense, and the offense, which has been the anchor this entire season, get it 1 touchdown drive. So rule of thumb is if you can win all 3 phases of the game, you win the game. They're winning 2 of them, but Stony Brook's offense has just been pretty darn good tonight, led by this guy, Tykel Fields. He hands it off to White. It's a first down, and he stopped there.
Isaiah White, the ball carrier.
White has continued to put on a show, and he's hurt now. 19 carries, and he's going to get some help from the training staff. And again, you hate to see this on either side, and unfortunately tonight we've seen a couple injuries.
Yeah, you see an all too familiar sight tonight. Giving the ball right down the middle to Isaiah White. And as you can see, Andre Blackett there delivering a big hit. You don't like to see anybody go down, but as you said, it's something that we've seen a whole lot tonight.
Rhode Island continuing to dig their way out offensively, and this has been one of the, if not the best guy on the field offensively tonight, Isaiah White, and good to see he can jog off on his own power. 19 carries, 107 yards, a touchdown, He's averaging 5.6 yards per carry. And Tyson Lawton has 88 yards, so he's 12 yards shy of another 100-yard performance. 1st and 10 though now. They're going to have to go at least this one play without Isaiah White. Shotgun snap. And this one's complete and caught by Gene Constant again. He's been great tonight too. Constant active early on in the first half, his first reception of the second half. But he's got the one Stony Brook receiving touchdown. 2 other ones come from Isaiah White and Tyson Lawton on the ground. 1st and 10 from the 38. And Stony Brook will take the clock into consideration now, with Rhode Island knocking on the door. Handoff into the secondary, into Rhode Island territory. A big run for Stony Brook's Sabet Naket.
We talked about it early on. The fact that they have so many different running backs gives them the ability to make plays like this. As you see him just burst right through the middle and run all over the field on the Rhode Island defense. And, you know, that's something that's been a story of the night with all 3 running backs, really.
27-yard gain. And he's been quieter tonight in comparison to the other 2 running backs, Lawton and White, but he's got 47 yards on the ground. Another run to him. And this time a lot shorter, but an effective run will bring up 2nd and manageable. We highlighted him in the open with Isaiah White. Tyson Lawton snuck in there as well. Stony Brook's offense so rushing 246.8 yards per game on the ground, 2nd best in the CAA. And again, the best total offense in the CAA. 7th best points per game offense and 7th best passing offense. So across the board, an effective offense for the Seawolves. Handoff again, and this time maybe a yard or 2. It'll bring up 3rd down. The Rhode Island defense has a large task ahead of them. They've held the Stony Brook offense to 6 first downs on 9 attempts on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 5. Tykel Fields wants to continue. And he's going to throw it. Throws it and incomplete. And Rhode Island's defense comes up with the stop. We'll see if they keep the offense out there. They might bring out Nick Courtney. His career long is 44 yards. So they're kind of in no man's land. Too close to punt, too far to kick a field goal. And this is a huge play now. They're going to keep the offense out there on 4th and 5. We haven't seen a 4th down attempt tonight. Rhode Island looking for some help from their home crowd. Biggest play of the evening. This would give the ball back to Vito Priori in the offense. Fields steps up. He's going to take it himself. He's got a 1st down. A clutch play from the redshirt junior. Pocket collapsed, but he had open space in front of him and he took advantage.
And that's where the athleticism comes in. He's able to step up in the pocket and get the 1st down for his team. Didn't need to throw it, and it didn't need to be handed off to a running back as he did it on his own.
So the ball now spotted up at the 20. The Seawolves again matching whatever Rhode Island throws their way. Handoff and hit from behind. Making the play was Rashad Dickerson, and another carry for Sabet Naket. 2nd down. And Chuck Priori's got to be thinking now that that 1st down on 4th down at least guarantees that if his offense gets stopped here, he can bring out a field goal unit, and it'll be all but guaranteed that Nick Courtney knocks it through. Fields keeps it himself, trying to get upfield, and the Rams beat him.
Tykel Fields on the keeper. He's stopped by number 21, Brian Campbell, and number 95.
Third down again.
Jim Phillips.
Rhode Island came up with a big stop.
That brings up third down.
3rd and 6 to go. Fields takes the shotgun snap. He's going to throw it, looking for the end zone, and that one incomplete. He had Nick Anderson, who beat Rhode Island's Quadir Brown, and he overthrew him. So this will bring out Nick Courtney, the kicker for Stony Brook, who has only had extra point attempts tonight, where he's 3 of 3. But a chance for field goal. The punter, Mitchell Wright, to hold. And this looks about a 34-yard field goal. His long is 44, so well within his range. And whistle's blown. There's a flag on the play. It looks like it came in. Rhode Island's pointing towards Stony Brook. Stony Brook pointing towards the Rams. We'll wait for the official call. It's 4th and 6, so if it is a 5-yard gainer, it'll still be 4th down for the Seawolves. And I think it's against URI.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 28. The player
Mamadou Mbai.
The offensive player just moved. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So it's 4th and 1. Priori looks like he's going to keep the field goal out there, and he is. So he just wants the 2-score lead with under 10 minutes left to go, but it comes up 5 yards. Now it's a 29-yard attempt for Nick Courtney. But that was an encroachment penalty against Mamadou Mbai. Kick is up, and the kick is through. Nick Courtney makes it a 2-score game again, and that'll bring us to another break. Rhode Island chasing 10 points now. They trail 24-14, and we have an injured Seawolf, but we'll check in with that when we back inside Meade Stadium. Rhode Island down by 10 now after the made field goal from Nick Courtney, who has only missed 1 this season. He's now 4 of 5. Rhode Island special teams came to play on their last drive. Amir Dorsey brought it 99 yards back for a touchdown. Stone Freeman, Miles Ross with you for the next 9 minutes and 20 seconds as the Rams are down by 2 scores again. Stony Brook has taken everything the Rams have done and just added their own twist on it. And it's a pooch kick up, and Pyers is going to watch it fall in front of him. He corrals it and gets out of bounds. So they weren't expecting that, but it's just 2 yards shy of a touchback, so no harm, no foul. But the Rams' offense has to get something moving here, and they're starting to work against the clock now.
There's, like you said, there's 9 minutes left in the game, which is plenty of time for the Rams to continue to make plays on both sides of the ball. But I think the offense has to feel some sort of sense of urgency to get the ball in the end zone fast, to give their defense an ability to take it away from them early and get it back again to give them a chance to score and take the lead.
So the Wildcat, a lot of motion now for Rhode Island. Vito Priori, the quarterback, is branched out, and the snap goes to Dorsey. Dorsey trying to get a block. Dorsey gets the block to the 30, and he's going to be shy of the 1st down, so offensive coordinator Will Fleming gets creative with it. He motioned Darren Parker out of the backfield into a slot position. Vito was the wide out on the far side, and the snap went to Dorsey, and another Seawolf is down. Can't quite get a look at the number. Looks like 30. And that'd be Reggie Demach, the redshirt sophomore. He's played in all 4 games for the Seawolves coming into today's contest. So another injury, and this time on the defensive side for Stony Brook. Rhode Island will face a 2nd and short, a 2nd and 2 coming out of this. And right now, if you're Rhode Island, you're just looking for points on this drive. Get it back to 1 score and then go back defensively. And that is Reggie. And he's going to get some help up. But he's up on his own 2 feet. Good to see. Walks off with a slight limp. Now the Rams offense again. Frimpong and Parker on the near side. Coulter and Dorsey on the far side. Rams bring out a 4 wide receiver look with a man in the backfield. Looks like Pyers with Vito. Priori waits, takes the snap, throws it over the middle, and incomplete off the hands of Aaron Parker. A rare miss, as Parker was wide open on 3rd and 2. And chasing down Parker was number 19, Gregory Young, the second. So 3rd and 2. So Bryant comes back into the game. Priori so far tonight, and they're going to branch him out again. 15 of 26 for 153 yards and a touchdown. And Dorsey again in the backfield. It's going to be a wildcat look, and he takes the snap, and he fakes the pitch one way. Dorsey goes the other, and he's got the first down and an extra 3 yards. Not the prettiest of plays, but the result is positive. It's a first down for URI. Just their 11th of the night to Stony Brook's 25. Dorsey having a pretty stellar game, special teams-wise, offensive-wise. It's just his second carry for 13 yards. Vito, play action. He's got pressure. He airs it out towards the sideline, and that ball is incomplete. Rhode Island wants a flag, and they're going to get it. It was a hit from Augie Contressa that had hit Isaiah Coulter really when the ball was nowhere near him. And those are the plays that, from Stony Brook's perspective, you go back and kick yourself over. And from Rhode Island's perspective, you take advantage of.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 6.
The right call.
15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Take another look at it.
Vito launches the ball again to Isaiah, hoping to get it to him on a corner route. And you see there Augie Contressa not really looking back towards the ball, just kind of hoping that it would be there when he hit him. And unfortunately for the Seawolves, it ends up in a pass interference call.
And it was credited against TJ Morrison, number 6, so he was the one that was on Isaiah's back. Contressa applied the late hit. Vito's flushed out. He's going to get tackled in the backfield. A big sack for number 2, Casey Williams, his first sack of the year, but a flag comes in and it looks like a hold.
Holding. Offense. Number 71.
And it's against Kevin Lawrence again.
Play. Second down.
Second down upcoming for URI. Not Lawrence's best game on that right tackle position. 6'4", Bloomfield, Connecticut native. There he is. 2nd and 17 from the 44. As the clock begins to work against Rhode Island. Vito gets pressure, steps up. He's going to take off, and he's hit from behind and forward. The ball comes loose, and it looks like it's picked up by the Seawolves at the 50. Falling on top of it was Casey Williams. And Vito Priori lost his helmet on that play. And we're waiting for the official call. They're conferencing to see if Vito was down. No official call yet.
The ruling on the field is the runner was down prior to the fumble. It'll be third down, Rhode Island.
So third down, you heard it there. The ruling on the field was Vito was marked down.
The previous play that the runner was down.
They're going to review it.
Is under further review.
So they're going to review it. Reviews haven't gone well in Rhode Island's favor.
Vito shows his toughness, despite what the outcome may be. He pulls it down and sees a little bit of green grass and just wants to get every inch that he can, and is smushed between 2 Stony Brook defenders. You can't really tell from what we can see, but we'll get the official call soon.
And I think the argument for him not being down would be I think he was on top of a Seawolf, so he was down in terms of his backside, but was he on the turf or was he up pressed against a defender? Because that could have been the case. The good news for Rhode Island is the call on the field went in their favor, which would mean if they have inconclusive evidence, they go with the call on the field. And Vito didn't quite lose his helmet on the play. It fell off after he had hit the deck. But he took a lot of contact there. And the officials still taking a look at it. For the time being, though, the Rams down by 10, 24-14. And the narrative this season early on for URI has been what could have been a triple overtime loss right here at home against Delaware. A loss on a game-winning field goal at UNH last week. And again, you care about the outcome, but it is not that far away to say the Rams could easily be 2-0 right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. Both games have come down to the wire, but as you can see again, Vito pulling down and is rushed by two Stony Brook defenders and loses the ball. It's really hard to tell. This would be very hard on Rhode Island as Stony Brook's offense is out there, so after the official review, they've given Stony Brook the ball, and Rhode Island's defense comes back out and looks to make a stand with not very much time left in the game.
So the defense out there, Fleming getting a word with the official on one side, Chuck Priori talking to a group of officials on the other side a couple moments ago. Still two officials doing the replay duty, but it seems like Rhode Island and Stony Brook on the same page.
After further review, the ruling on the field has changed. Prior to the runner being down, there was a fumble recovered by the defense. This immediate recovery will be Stony Brook's ball, 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
So it will be switched. Forced fumble. And a recovery by Casey Williams. And Stony Brook takes over with 7:24 left to go in the fourth. And the Seawolves can use the clock to their advantage. They do it as is with their rushing attack. Another handoff. This is Isaiah White. Good to see him back in the game, and he gets a 2-yard gainer. Brandon Giannetti and a couple other Rams in. James Phillison, the transfer from UTSA, also. They'll each get credited with a half a tackle.
Gain of 2 yards on the play, 2nd and 8.
So it's 2nd and 8. Isaiah White now 109 yards, a touchdown and 20 attempts.
Stony Brook is taking their sweet time getting these plays in and getting down on the ball and calling their play.
As Fields is going to throw it and nearly complete, but off the hands of Nick Anderson. And back to the forced fumble and fumble recovery. It was forced out by Keegan Henderson, number 42, the redshirt senior, and scooped up by Casey Williams, number 2, the Temple transfer in his redshirt sophomore campaign. 3rd and 8. So the Rhode Island defense has a chance to bail out the offense, who fumbled the ball at the 50-yard line. On 3rd and long. Rhode Island looks to bring some pressure. They do just that. Quadir Brown with the hit on the quarterback, but this is aired out and incomplete. So Quadir Brown had some pressure off the blind side. Fields, whether he felt it or not, just threw an incompletion. Anderson was the intended target deep downfield. And realistically, not that bad of a look for Rhode Island. When they first forced that fumble, you'd think Stony Brook could chew away potentially 3 minutes of game clock. They only chew away just under a minute. And this will go back into the hands of the Rhode Island offense, down by 10. Rhode Island has gotten after it on the special teams side tonight with the kick return for a touchdown from Dorsey, and he's going to fair catch this punt at the 8-yard line. That's where the Rams will start. They'll have to go 92 yards for a score, trailing by 10 here in the fourth quarter. So Priori has only had 2 interceptions on the season. He loses the fumble. Defense comes back, though, and forces a 3-and-out. We talked about that game tying drive that Vito orchestrated at UNH. And it's lost, obviously, in the loss. But twice on that drive, he faced 4th and long. Rose to the occasion on both times. 4th and 10, he ran for a first down gainer. And rather, it was 4th and short on 4th and 2, but he converted for 27 yards. This is out to Pyers, and Pyers is tripped up by Contressa. 2nd down.
He's tackled by number 8, Augie Contressa.
2nd and 9.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
The Seawolves have come to Kingston and forced the Rams offense into fits. Seem to have an answer for Aaron Parker. And that's halted the Rams offense. 2nd and 9, though, deep inside Rhode Island territory from the 9. Priori dumps it off to Bryant. Bryant beats a man. Bryant lost the ball. No, he corralled it. For a second, it looked like it was jarred loose, but he just had it in one palm. 3rd down. Vito dumped it off just in time to Zoe. His 5th reception of the game out of the backfield. 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. They need the 18-yard line. Ball at the 16. Shotgun snap, flipped up to Dorsey. Dorsey gets the first down and continuing to roll, but so does the clock. And it's a completed pass technically. Looks like we have another injured Seawolf. And this time it's Augie Contressa, the top tackler on the team coming into today's game. And he's getting some work. And fortunately, he's going to get up relatively quickly and take off by himself. 7 yards, though, on that completion to Dorsey. It's a first down for URI from the 24 with a dead 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. We've seen how quickly this game can turn over. Rhode Island was down with 14 minutes and 30 seconds in this quarter, down by 2 touchdowns, and then Dorsey brought the kick back for a touchdown. Lock can change quickly. This one's going to get aired out downfield and underthrown to Isaiah Coulter. Incomplete. TJ Morrison has had the Coulter assignment tonight. He signals incomplete.
Isaiah Coulter.
So 2nd and 10. They took a shot long on first down. Rams' last home game before 3 straight road games tonight. And they hadn't been home in nearly 3 weeks, on the road at UNH and a bye week in between. And Stony Brook has made the trip to Kingston and shown how good they are, as Dorsey's met right away. Great tackle by Gregory Young.
He's tackled by number 19, Gregory Young.
And it brings up 3rd and 6. Vito's got 2 wideouts to each side of the line of scrimmage. What has been a tough day for the offense. Priori's got a completion to Ivory Frimpong, who's having himself a career day. Picks up another first down. 3rd reception. And over 30 yards now on the day. And it moves the chains.
That play is good for a first down, Rhodey.
The Rhode Island offense through the air, 173 yards before that completion to Frimpong. 182 after it. And this one's muffed at the line, and Vito's just going to have to fall on top of it. He bobbled it, but he got to it. That one looked like it might have just gotten off the backside of Ace Johnson on the snap. And Vito can do nothing about it but just lie on top of it. And Vito wants his play call. 2nd and 14, a loss of 4. And the clock really working against the Rams now. This play into its 7th drive, or rather 7th play. They've only eclipsed 29 yards. 2nd and 14 for Priori and the Rams. This time a clean snap. He's got some pressure. He's going to step up, lofts it out. Coulter's got the reception, 35. And he couldn't jar free from Augie Contressa. And Coulter will get reception number 3. And this brings up 3rd and 12. First down marker is 3 yards shy of the 50. The 47-yard line. Vito corrals this one, throws it, completes it, and still up on his feet is Zoe Bryant, and he's knocked out just before the first down, and I think he's going to get a penalty, maybe a late hit, as he was already out of bounds potentially. That's the only thing I can think of in that area. Josh Lott, the defensive line coach for URI, looked pretty excited about it. Pure speculation, but that's all I can guess over there.
After the play, personal foul, they hit out of bounds, defense, number 17, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So a late hit from Sean Hammonds Jr. And the official said that Zoe had already been out of bounds and he came in and applied a late hit. So this will push the Rams up all the way to the 40. And Jim Fleming taking his time because of he's got timeouts, how good his special teams are. If he can score here, either a touchdown or a field goal, then it goes into the hands of an onside kick potentially. But you got to score soon. Priori's going to air it out towards the end zone, throws it into double coverage, and a flag there. Aaron Parker gets tangled up with
Penalty flags on the play.
Gregory Young the second.
Pass interference.
And 15 yards coming.
Number 19, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
A bad drive for Gregory Young. He had the late hit on Zoe Bryant and now the pass interference. And that'll move the Rams up even more with 1:54 left to go. Rhode Island threatening again, 25-yard line. The Rams have taken their time on this drive. And they need a score. This is play number 10 of the drive. 1st and 10 coming up now from the 24. Vito, pressured, rolls out. And he's just going to dump it away. There was a man in the area. Ivory Frimpong, so Vito did a good job extending it. Clock stops at 1:47. Take a look at both head coaches. That was Coach Priori, now the back of Jim Fleming. 2nd and 10 from the 24 again. Rhode Island has abandoned the run on this drive. 9 passing plays, 1 rushing play. Vito takes the shotgun snap. He's going to throw it. End zone. And caught for the touchdown. Rhode Island back within a score. That one reeled in by Isaiah Coulter, his 2nd game with a touchdown. And the Rams are down by just 4 points now with 102 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. So Coulter comes up with the reception. Touchdown number 3 on the year. And he had 3 all of last year, already has 3 this year. Great play for Isaiah Coulter.
That was needed by this Rams offense to give them a spark to continue to be in this game. although it might not seem like there's much time left on the clock, it's more than enough time for there to be a big special teams play. Coach Fleming's got all his timeouts, and as you can see here, Vito just sets his feet with full confidence, delivers the ball to Isaiah, and he climbs the ladder to make a great catch to get in the end zone as it puts the Rams at 21, right behind Stony Brook at 24.
So a field goal is the difference maker right now. Coulter 4 receptions, 76 yards and a score. And that's an 11-play, 92-yard drive in under 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 47 seconds chewed off the clock. The Rams do have 3 timeouts. And you've got to think they go with an onside here. They have to.
You've got to. And at that point, you know, you kick the onside. Even if they recover, it might be far down the field, but that's when the defense has to step up and start to make plays. As you noted, they've got all 3 timeouts, so there's not really much need to panic. The defense just has to stand tall and get 3 straight stops in a row and give the offense another chance to either get a field goal and tie it up or get a touchdown and put the game away.
This is always interesting on onside kicks in situations like this because both teams know it's coming. No surprise here, an onside kick coming to the near sideline. Rhode Island stacks just 4 guys to the backside of C.J. Carrick, and Stony Brook obviously has a fair amount right on the left side of your screen, just shy of the 50. Onside kick attempt is up, and Rhode Island's got it! Isaiah Coulter's got it! Rhode Island comes up with the onside kick recovery! Special teams again! And with 100 seconds left to go, the Rams have 3 timeouts. A field goal will tie it, a touchdown will take the lead. Isaiah Coulter, he's got the touchdown grab, and now this.
The ball that was a perfect onside kick, and Isaiah climbs the ladder once again and snatches the ball out of the air and gives the Rhode Island offense a chance to either tie or win this game.
And that's it. You said it best, Miles, a chance. That's what the Rams have in front of them. An opportunity to shake some of those demons of losing close games off of their back. And they're already inside Stony Brook territory. 49 yards would get them a score and take the lead. And we got a timeout taken by the Seawolves. And we'll keep it here. What a play from Isaiah Coulter. Special teams tonight, so good. Rams down by 2 scores and a touchdown for Amir Dorsey, and then this happens. Down by 3, and Miles, you said it, just beautifully placed. You can't get it better than that.
For our kickoff team, the chance, like you said, it's all about the chance, the ability to go up and get that ball. And now you know this place is fired up. Everybody's up in their seats and anxious for what could possibly happen at the end of this game.
And if you notice there on that play, Coulter grabs it, but you got Mamadou Mbai, Aaron Parker, Isaiah Coulter, a lot of these guys playing both sides of the ball. And then out there, or rather, special teams and then one side of the ball. And they make a play. Isaiah Coulter used that huge 6'3" body to grab a hold of it. And the Rams now with a chance to take the lead late in the 4th quarter. Down by 3. Whistle from the official signals. The clock now starts on the play clock. And Vito awaits the shotgun snap. Vito's going to throw it, and he's got Amir Dorsey. Dorsey to the 30, Dorsey to the 25, and a big play on first down for URI. A completion from Vito Priori to Amir Dorsey, and the Rams will let some of this clock roll with it after the sticks are reset. The ball at the 25. And the clock continues to roll away, 24-21. Complete for 24 yards as the shotgun snap to Priori again. Vito with pressure, and he's going to fall. He had Zoe Bryant upset on the far side. So the sack going to be credited to 42, Keegan Henderson. Jim Fleming takes his first time out with 1:11.
As you see here, Vito trying to scan the field. Stony Brook's defensive line is back there quickly and is able to get him down for the sack, but as you said, he had Zoe Bryant out there on the check down. You wonder what could be if he throws it out there, but now Rhode Island takes the timeout and focuses on getting more yards on second down.
Minute 11 left to go. And we talk so much about Rhode Island's offense here, but the defense for Stony Brook has to be confident. They carry that unique swagger to them, knowing how good they've been this season, over the past 4 years, over the past 2 years, recently going to the FCS playoffs in both 2018 and 2017. 2nd and 14, 2 timeouts remaining for URI, 2 for Stony Brook. The Rams down by 3. Priori airs it out towards the end zone. Parker reels it in, and Aaron Parker is in for the touchdown. Rhode Island is up on top of the Seawolves. The Rams had a chance to take the lead. They took advantage. Vito Priori airs it out, and a big touchdown, 29 yards for Aaron Parker, his 2nd touchdown of the day, 5th reception. C.J. Carrick with a chance to put him up by 4. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is no good.
That changes a lot now. You know, now we're only up by a field goal, and the goal now is to keep them out of field goal range.
I don't want to speak for all of Rhode Island fans, but when that goes far left, you can't help but ask yourself, can it ever just be easy? And the answer is no. But there's this.
Vito launches. This is all he's done all game. Aaron Parker just outbodies the defensive back and brings in the touchdown. He's been kind of quiet today, but he's had 2 clutch touchdowns, and one of them right there to put the Rhode Island Rams in the lead. And he shows why he was named team captain, why he was named an All-American, and why he is the best receiver in the CAA.
So C.J. Carrick misses the field goal, but a minute 5 left to go. There's Vito Priori. His 2nd half, so good. First half, the Rams didn't score at all. 27 points here in the 2nd half. 7 of those points credited to special teams. Vito Priori wants his entire team up here because a big opportunity.
As he should, and the whole sideline should be enthusiastic and cheering on those guys out there to go and make a stand. But first, we start off with this kickoff because, like you said, special teams has been such a huge part of this game. So this defensive stand all starts with this play right here.
Back to receive the kick is Gene Constant again. Carrick puts his big boot into it. Constant's going to corral it at the 5 and a chance to bring it back. Constant to the 20, looking for a block, and he'll get to the 25. And Rams falling all over each other, but the clock is stopped at 1 minute. Stony Brook has 2 timeouts. With 6 minutes and 29 seconds left in the 4th, Rhode Island was forced to punt down by 2 scores again. And after that, they have put together a touchdown drive, received an onside kick, and now a touchdown to take the lead by 3. 27-24, another one-score game that the Rams are looking to flip the script on. Shotgun snap. This is batted down at the line and nearly intercepted, but a good start nevertheless. The Rams putting some pressure on Tykel Fields. If you go through the Rhode Island schedule, it's a loss at Ohio, 41-20. It's a loss versus Delaware in triple overtime right here at Meade Stadium. And then a loss last week at UNH by a game-winning field goal. Rams looking to take a win here against Stony Brook. Fields takes off, trying to get out of bounds, and he will do just that. Shy of a first down by a yard, but the clock stops at 49 seconds. And it's 3rd down. And looks like there's another injury on the field.
This is a huge 3rd down for this defense. They've stood tall so far, and it's extremely important that on this 3rd down, they do every single thing they can in order to either stop them or get minimal amount of yards.
That's Ian McLean, a right tackle for Stony Brook, and another injury in this game. he gets tended to. We take a look at the stats again. Vito Priori, 25 of 38, 3 touchdowns, 272 yards. Aaron Parker, 5 receptions, 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Stony Brook again, that rushing attack. Isaiah White, 109 yards and a touchdown. Right now, they can't really rely on that rushing offense until they get a little bit deeper downfield. They've played almost the entirety of this game with the lead and in the driver's seat. But Rhode Island is quickly rewriting it. 3rd and 2. Shotgun snap back to Fields. Fields dunks it off, and that ball is complete for a first down. And Peter McKenzie, and a timeout immediately taken. And the clock out to 46. Their second timeout. So the positive for Stony Brook is you move the chains. The negative, you don't go too far, and you have to burn a timeout. And I think this game has proved the significance of special teams. And should note, Stony Brook special teams haven't been bad. They haven't made mistakes. They've played almost a perfect game. An interception was thrown, but that was on the final play, a Hail Mary in the first half. They did fumble the ball at the 1-yard line, and that's really the only spot that you can pinpoint where Stony Brook has messed up. But special teams-wise, they've been great.
Like you said, both teams have been great on offense, great on defense, but as you said, Stony Brook making no mistakes on special teams. It's that Rhode Island has capitalized.
Fields is going to air it out downfield, and that ball way incomplete. So he took a chance. It only takes 5 seconds off the clock, but it does bring up second down. So they took a shot, didn't succeed. Nick Anderson, the intended receiver again. And this has major implications for Stony Brook, too. It's their first CAA game, but you never want to start conference play with a loss. And their schedule doesn't get easier. Versus JMU, versus UNH, and at Villanova, their next 3 contests. 41 seconds left to go. Fields takes the shotgun again. Throws this one, and it's batted away, but a flag comes in. This is going to be against Rhode Island's 14, and that's Kavion Holmes, the sophomore from Apaka, Florida.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 14. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So it's an automatic first down with 38 seconds to go, and another penalty against the Rams. Their 6th penalty of the game, and it did look like Kavion bumped him maybe. So the long field goal for Nick Courtney is 44 yards. So based on that, they're looking for just about the 30-yard line. Pocket begins to collapse. Weeks uses his feet, and he throws it, Fields, and it's incomplete. Brings up second down. The Rams' defense tonight has not been perfect, but a chance to prove to the CAA that they should be taken seriously. 33 seconds to go. Rhode Island by 3. Fields again. Pressure. Throws it. And that's Constant who catches it. He's shy of the 50. So that'll keep the clock moving, and looks like Stony Brook is going to have to burn their last time out. They'll do just that with 26 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds, timeout.
So this will bring up third down, and also Stony Brook really cannot use the middle of the field. They have to go to the outsides. They can't run it at this stage of the game, obviously. So it's all in the hands of Tykel Fields. Now, Miles, this has to be situational football that you guys are preached about.
Absolutely, and that started from the onside kick. We practice that every single week for moments like this. And now, like you said, it's time to protect the sidelines, keep the ball in between the sidelines, and keep the clock running. And here it's either time for an incomplete pass or get them down because they have no timeouts left.
3rd and 6, 26 seconds left in the fourth. Pressure, he throws, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Andrew Trent, and that brings up 4th down. And understandably so, Miles is going to depart from the broadcast. He's going to get down to the locker room. A great game from him upstairs here as his Rams are trying to complete a great game down on the gridiron. For the next 22 seconds, though, we'll all be on the edge of our seats. 4th and 6. Shotgun snap back to Fields. Fields steps up. He's going to take off himself. He's got the first down and more. Fields has a lot of running room to the 20. Fields to the 5. And he's in for the score. Tykel Fields on 4th down, and a penalty marker does come in. It is a touchdown, though.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. After the play, a sportsmanlike conduct, number 71, Stony Brook, his first of the game. That foul will be assessed on the kickoff. Tracker point.
What a play from Tykel Fields. The redshirt junior takes it upon himself. Miles talked about it all game, his athleticism, and he silences the crowd. The penalty came in after the play, but Stony Brook has stunned the University of Rhode Island. On 4th and 6, the redshirt junior comes through a 50-yard rushing touchdown, and an extra point away from making it a 4-point game. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. Stony Brook by a point. Or by 4 now, by a score. 31-27. The pocket had collapsed, and Tykel Fields took it himself. 11 seconds. The Rams will have a chance in the special teams department again. And Jim Fleming and his team, again, for the 3rd straight game, cannot seem to get on the receiving end of good news. We revisit the earlier games this season. Triple overtime loss to Delaware. Loss on a field goal as the buzzer sounded at UNH. And now the Rams, down 10 with less than 5 minutes to go, score a touchdown, receive a onside kick. This ball is going to get pushed up a bit after the penalty, after the touchdown. So Dorsey and Pyers are going to come to the 20-yard line. (31-27). Courtney's kick is pooched high up, corralled by URI at the 40 to the 50 and knocked out of bounds. Rhode Island wanted the hit out of bounds, and they're not going to get it. So the Rams will have 2 timeouts, 9 seconds to move 48 yards. The score at half was 7-0 Stony Brook. That puts in perspective how much offense, how much football we've had here in the second half. 31-27. And Rhode Island's just going to go to the end zone. They're going to bring trips to the far side. And Priori's pretty much going to have one shot at the end zone. And it's a timeout taken by the Rams.
Timeout. Rhode Island. Their 3rd and final timeout.
And that is their last timeout. Vito Priori talks it over Mike Flanagan, assistant coach for URI. Well, they do have one left. So a whole lot of offense out there for URI. Aaron Parker, Isaiah Coulter, and Ivory Frimpong. Zoe Bryant will wait in the backfield with Vito. And 5 men with a tight end also out there, Caleb Warren. And the Rams are just going to have to heave it towards the end zone. And Vito's going to get sacked. A big play, and the Rams will use their final timeout.
Timeout. Rhode Island.
Sam Kamara with a sack. And with 4 seconds left, down doesn't really necessarily matter at this point. You need the touchdown. You don't like to micromanage this late in games, but if C.J. Carrick did complete the extra point, you'd only need the field goal right now. I'm sure that's running through the Rams. They need one last push of magic really here. This will be the final play. Coulter on the near side. 3 wideouts on the far side. That's Frimpong, Dorsey, and Parker. Bryant in the backfield. 2 defensive backs way in the end zone for Stony Brook. Vito's going to leave it off to Isaiah Coulter. Coulter still up on his feet. Coulter to the 30. The Rams now at the 20, and that's where Isaiah Coulter will be taken down. Stony Brook comes into Meade Stadium and shocks the University of Rhode Island. The Rams up by a score, 4th down and 5 to go, and Tykel Fields took matters into his own hands. The Stony Brook cornerback raced for a 50-yard touchdown run, and that was the difference maker.